Gang. What's going on? Trader TV Live traders. Hope everybody's having a solid Wednesday. It is hump day, so looking forward to that one. Yes, exactly. Double bang on that front. Waiting for some people to crawl into the chat here. This is Joe, obviously, and my guy to the right of me, Obi, ready to put on some more trades for you throughout the session.
Yes, sir.
And the poll is up. Make sure that you guys get those votes in. Let's see what everybody's up to. My guy, ADL, Obi doing good. Back-tested model and came to 154%. Let's go, ADL. Charlie Taft, my guy, Gorev, you already know what it is. We're going to hit the money storm for you, my friend. Obi looking buff in that shirt, says Day Trader Cut. Let's go. Ron John, Retro Stocks. What's going on, my friends? Dan Gale. Doug, I see you there, Retro Stocks. Fat Finger, all right, I see you. Stevenson, my guy, what's up, brother? Okay, we see you in there, Retro Stocks. You don't got to put it in all there all the time. Mike the Rider, City Boys 305, Parker, morning, good. Hey, Pizza Rat, what's up, my friend? I'm glad you're here. Let's see up TX Trader, Sid. One more, Jimmy B, Erie Pages, and let's find one, Julie B. What's going on, everybody? And my guy, ADL, Adam Deluce across the seas. How is everything this morning, Obi?
Not too bad, not too bad. A little bit of a rough morning for myself, but in terms of price action on the market, definitely very opportune to say the least. Again, today is Liberation Day.
Liberation Day.
So a lot of anticipation there, and I might have fumbled the ball a little bit.
Happens. Yeah.
Put on a little bit too much risk.
Okay.
In the morning session.
Oh, I guess we'll talk about that a little bit more. Or did you want to talk about it now? What were you trading?
I was trading TQs.
TQs. Okay.
So I got a little cheeky with the Qs there in the morning. I saw that 58. We can go down to a 1 minute chart. I saw this like 58.20 level holding. Got a little too aggressive with the short going into the number. Didn't really cover here on the stall when it did drop down. Mm-hmm. So that was a bit of a miss, and kind of gave it to the highs over here, and pretty much shut down on the day today. So no more trading for me here, but we'll be taking those reps. We'll be here taking those reps in the demo here on the day today. So, but more than that, I'm just going to be observing and just talking through some potential ideas and trades. And I see that you have a lesson for us planned. What's the lesson?
Yeah, we're gonna finish up the creating a trade book, day trading trade book lesson. So we'll get right into that. But first, we'll pull up my screen here real quick to see what we had going on today, guys. That's IBIT. But first, we'll go over the TQs. I was with Obi. I actually tried to take a short on it not too long ago, and then I got stopped out. So you see this topping tail candle here. I'm like, okay, let's see if we can get that move back to the volume-weighted average price. But as I was monitoring a lot of the Mag 7, we're hovering around certain levels around the volume-weighted average price and slightly extended from that, and we weren't really breaking down any. So I started really small. This was going to be my out, and then sure enough, we got stopped out right there on that short on the TQs. But then we traded IBIT this morning. Worked out pretty good here. You can see that we opened up above the volume. Well, we opened up below the volume-weighted average price, but then as soon as we sat on top of it here, guys, I entered the position. I then doubled my position, took it some off here, and then whatever I had remaining, I doubled it right there again, and then just took the remaining up, and then I eventually got stopped out break even because my average got lifted up here. And so it's kind of been chopping around a little bit. I did like this wedge that we're forming here, but I bit the better trade, and then a small loss on the TQs there, guys. So not too horrible of a morning. We had Tesla yesterday. That was a monster trade on Tesla, but unfortunately we finished red on the day. But that's okay because we took a lot of hits on IBIT earlier in the day. But let's get right into this lesson. Mary S. Lehman wants to say hi, guys. Yeah, we're going to say hi to you as well. So there we go, biotech boom. We're going to get into the chat later, and we're going to have a lot of talking to do because it is Liberation Wednesday, apparently. But let's get right into this lesson here, guys, to see what we got going on. I do like IBIT as it's continuing to climb higher, and we're going to talk about some high levels of open interest on Tesla and how we can utilize that and implement that within our day trading. All right, so just to go a little bit over what we went, where we finished off yesterday, we'll take a couple steps back here, guys. Not too many slides to go through because we want to hop right back into these markets. So here we go. Trade criteria and stock selection are key factors in consistent trading success. Being in the right stock with your trading parameters will help increase your day-to-day success. Stock screeners are a great trading tool that allow you to filter through the market and find in-play stocks that fit your playbook's trading metrics. Analyze current technical levels, mark out key support and resistance levels for your in-play stocks, establish potential trade scenarios, breakups, breakdowns, reversals, and continuations, okay? So yeah, Bitcoin's starting to break out. Missed that trade, that's okay. We'll find another one. Good for the long term here, though. All right, guys, here we go. This is just a basic filter. You can see that we have a low of $13 and then a high of $1,000. You can obviously compress that a little bit. Then a low of 900,000 shares to essentially infinite shares. So that's what we're looking for. And what this does, it just filters out multiple stocks, right? You don't want to go through all 500 today. You want to set, in your morning analysis, you want to have set criteria, and that's what these screeners allow you to do, okay? So collecting data. Numerous points of data can be collected for your specific day trading or investment criteria. Select and collect key points that best fit your system. Categorize your entry, all right? So you got 9:30 to 11 a.m. market open executions, 11 to 2 p.m. midday analysis with OB and I here, 2 o'clock to 4 p.m. power hour and closing session. That's one way you can categorize your trading, all right? Ranking weight of catalysts, upgrades, downgrades, macro data, news headlines, mergers and acquisitions, and then you have earnings, all right? Risk per trade, you also want to collect this. Collect data on your risk units per trade. This can help you scale trades and setups you're more efficient in, and reduce risk trades, setups you're less accurate on. And I believe Day Trader Cut said this yesterday, you have to document your data to find what you're good at and what you're not good at. And I think I couldn't agree more on that fact there. So journal as well as collect screenshots after each trade. Obi does that. I do that myself. A lot of traders, Adara does that as well too. So keep up with that, and then you can just go back and review what you did good and what you did bad. Document your psychology before, after, and during trades. Analyze how you managed each position. Document accuracy with short and long positions, all right? So this is just some basic criteria. This is as simplistic as it can get right here. So the trade number, so it's your first trade, second trade, what's the stock, what's the pre-market volume, what's the R-vol, what is the strategy, right? So everybody has their own names for their strategies. My two basic strategies that I like to implement on a day-to-day basis is called the VWAP breakups, very simplistic, or the VPA, the volume price analysis anomaly, the VPAA, all right? So strategy, time in, what session was it? Is it in the morning, afternoon, or in the evening? Time out. Result, what's your risk to reward? How many risk units were you implementing on that trade, and what was the result of that? How many shares did you end up taking? What was the catalyst? And then what was the level of the catalyst? And then obviously, very important is the date. All right, so tricks of the trade, define your goals, develop a repeatable system. Successful trading playbooks require structure, discipline, and data-driven decision-making. Consistently analyze what you're good at and dissect the key metrics that provide the success. Always manage risk accordingly. Do not take outsized losses, all right? So that is very, very key. If you keep those losses small, and then eventually you'll hit that trade where it just wipes out all those losses. Opposed, you don't want to have, again, small wins is part of the game, but you don't want to have something that's outsized, and then eventually it just blows up everything. And I've had that multiple times, and it's not fun. Months and months of work gone just due to the fact that I didn't want to follow my rules and just blow everything up. I remember about a year and a half ago, Obi, I was actually doing my best trading when I was at home, and the month was unreal. And in a span of 2 days, I gave everything back. And yeah, I had to do a couple laps around the house. And enjoyed a nice cold beverage after that one. But as long as you get back on the horse and get back to those rules, you will be okay, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. I think you always great lesson there, Joe. Thank you for that. You always have to have like a set process for the day, right? And that kind of brings you in that discipline of holding that process kind of brings that discipline into your trading as well, I've found. And yeah, some of the worst times is like when you're not being disciplined in your personal life, then that leaks into your trading as well. Absolutely. And sometimes maybe you're not being disciplined with your playbook or your rules. That happens to me every now and then. Yeah, no, Day Trader Cut was asking in the chat kind of to go over why I lost and how I shut down, because yeah, so it is our losers that we learn the most from. Yeah, man, there's not too much to learn here, I think, in my opinion. But we'll go through it. Like, I know exactly kind of what I did wrong. So I answered the 3 questions that you had there. Right here. So I was gonna reply to you, and it didn't really. It didn't let me write all of this, so this is what I'm gonna kind of go through here. So what I did wrong is I oversized aggressively. So I'd already been trying to get short, I think, on this pullback here. I tried here 57.80, so you can see we can kind of compare that with I guess the Nasdaq as well. Here we go down to 3-minute on the Nasdaq, and I think the contract is the M contract currently, right?
I think so. I just got a notification on it the other day. I don't really watch.
The M contract. That's why I'm like, this does not look right, because that does not look like today's price action. Okay, here we go. So here's a 1-minute chart. So we'll go to 3 minutes here on the Nasdaq as well, and we can compare that to what happened here. So I'll go to 3-minute as well on the TQs, because that's what I'm looking at as well. So basically. Hold on, you know what? 1 second. I can actually bring up the actual chart. I took a screenshot of it earlier. I'm not logged into my live account here. So if you want to take over for a couple of minutes, I'll pull up the chart so we can go through it a little bit more effectively.
Most definitely. So yeah, guys, I see a lot of people chiming in on that stuff. I think it's really a part of the journey, right? I don't think you've gone through the trading journey unless you've made those mistakes. But as long as you learn from them, then I think you'll be off pretty good. And I like what Daniel B said in the chat. He's like, yeah, you do that, and then you feel so garbage that you don't want to do it ever again. And yeah, and it's not even that it happens once. I've done it multiple times, and it's just not a good feeling, right? So again, you'll go through it to eventually you'll just be like, yeah, I'm sick of this, and I'm no longer doing it. I would rather take a small loss, come back the next day, and be prepared, and then next thing you know, you're going to be like, oh, okay, nice. I had a really, really good day. I'm glad that I only took a small loss. Oh, no. Okay, all right, yeah, that's all right. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try a short here on the TQs. Let's see if we can get this move back into the volume weighted average price. We're slightly extended. I did get a better price than what I had before. Slightly delayed on the entry. I would much rather be long in IBIT. Now I have to give this significantly more risk here. It's about 50 cents. So I'll be patient. As long as we don't crack that, I think we'll be okay, because we are starting to pull in a little bit here. But yeah, so let's see what everybody's saying. Couldn't agree more, Joe. Keep getting. Lance Brinson almost quit, kept trading, and went on to make. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Lance, I know Obi's a big fan of the one, the only Lance B. Yes, and sure. Yeah, I think everybody who's going to make it through this journey is going to go through those obstacles. It's just a matter of if you're strong enough and willing enough to go through the other side, because you're going to do it multiple times. I've done it multiple times, and it's not a good feeling. As long as you learn from those feelings, then I think you'll be off all right. Sorry, yeah, Obi, did you figure out what you had going on?
Yeah, so I got my chart here. So let me pull up the TQs as well here on my charting software. So right here. So we got the TQs here. So this is kind of what I did. These were my entries. So I took this earlier on. This is a 1-minute chart. The screenshot's a 1-minute chart. So these are my entries short. This is my stop out here. Getting a little bit aggressive here on the pullback as well. Stopped out here once again. So getting a little chopped up. Then I kind of double tap here. This I definitely sized a little too aggressively at this point. I might have been a little tilted. Kind of looking for that move to come in. I was aware that we did have a number coming in at 10 o'clock, and I didn't really expect it to do too much. But I guess I was definitely wrong a little bit there. I didn't really have a stop in right above the highs here, and I was the most sized here. I got into how much? I was risking like three risk units here, and then I think I doubled up right here. So automatically I'm risking 6, maybe even more risk units up to the high. So one of the mistakes I did was what I'll do next time is like, all right, if I'm doubling up, if I double up on this, I have to trail the risk to that prior bar or much tighter or to the first entry, something like that. Some sort of rule to be like, okay, well, if I'm taking an aggressive action to double up on a trade, which I shouldn't necessarily be doing in the first place, unless I think the probability of the trade has increased significantly. But even if that's happening, I should be taking that stop right there, not really giving it past these highs. But that bid comes in pretty aggressively. I did have time to take it off here. I chose not to, so that's something that I do have to think about as well. Kind of being in this market, being nimble and being like quick with the fingers as soon as something doesn't really work. You have the ability to get back in. I stop out pretty much at the highs, and then you can see it takes that beautiful reversion back down into VWAP right after. That's kind of what I was looking for, and then we've been kind of trailing back up. So I got a little too aggressive too early, put on way too much risk for that trade. So that was a big miss on my part. And on a day like today, where volatility is definitely a little bit expected. So why am I sized so aggressively so early on in the day? It doesn't really. What's going on here?
What's
going on, Neil?
What is that? I didn't make it.
All right, that's sick. So we got a meme that was delivered by was that
Who made
Ramin?
this? They're calling me a boomer, guys. Essentially.
He's just staring down the chart, the chat. Yes.
Oh man, no way. Is it really like that these days? Jeez, I guess I gotta get some glasses or something. I don't want to be like, I don't want to have that. You know how your parents look at something when you show them something on your phone and they do like this look. It's like, all right, yeah. So maybe I have to increase the font or something like that. Yeah, I guess I'm around those stages. So. You know how it is. This is how it is, man. Oh, yeah, it's all love. Yeah, you guys are all laughing at me in the chat now. I see how it is. All right. That's all right. I'll remember that, guys. I'll remember that. All right, no, it's all good times. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to send it back to Adara.
Just keep an eye here on MNMD. This one got a little bit of a move here. Marijuana Moment reporting that apparently Trump Secretary of Veterans had an eye-opening psychedelic experience here in a talk with RFK Jr. And apparently he plans to get Congress to act on this. So again, just to summarize this report from Marijuana Moment, reportedly the Trump Secretary of Veterans had a talk with RFK Jr. Looks like they're potentially going to be going to Congress to act on psychedelics, so it's unclear what these actions will be. Seemingly, though, positive. Keep an eye on BA as well here. Again, we still have this meeting ongoing here with the Senate, this testimony from CEO Kelly Ortberg. It's been kind of chopping around here, guys. Back to you.
Here we go. The missus says even Superman wears glasses. All right, so there we go. So yeah, Clark Kent. I'd rather be James Bond though. I think James Bond. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, guys, we're talking about stuff here in the market. I took another short. It doesn't look like it's gonna work out here, OB, unfortunately, as we're continuing to squeeze. So don't want to fight this too much longer. I do feel like we have that overhang and that cliff going on in the market. But if we want to climb higher. This is going to be my last attempt here on the short because it just doesn't seem that we want to break down to the volume-weighted average price just yet here, Obi. So I'm not going to try to force something and give back the majority of my day here.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to. Again, we're awaiting what the tariff news is potentially going to bring into the markets, and so far we've been bidding up pretty aggressively already right off of the open here. I see across the board, the strongest ones out of Mag 7s here on the day. Tesla pretty much at its day highs here, attempting to push a little bit more, all the way back to 270s, man. Day low is 250, so about a 20-point run almost. There goes that 270, 271.32 current day high. Here goes the TQs as well, pushing up the market. Look at that go. That 19-6 coming right back in from yesterday. We kind of trailed right back up in there and consolidated, pushing a little bit higher here. I got to go back up to a 15-minute on this one. There's news on Tesla saying Neil. So yeah, let's take a quick look at that one. I do not have my news source up, but we have Videra. And I think she'll come up with what the news might be. But the market right now.
Elon will step away.
Okay, Elon will step away. Okay, so well, let's go to Dara. Let's see what's up.
Here's the news here. Politico reporting that apparently Donald Trump has communicated with his inner circle that Elon Musk will be stepping back from his current role, quote, in coming weeks. He was expected to leave in 2026, or that was how long the term was supposed to last with the Department of Government Efficiency. According to Politico, though, Elon Musk could be leaving within the next few weeks. So keep an eye here on TSLA and that news. Again, it's been heavily considered by investors that Elon Musk being at Doge has been distracting from his role in Tesla. And even Wedbush analyst Danny Ives, who was a notable Tesla bull, actually released a note saying that he thinks that Elon Musk needs to take a step back or it could be hurting the company. So keep an eye on TSLA. If I hear anything else, I'll let you know. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. Yeah, I mean, Danny Ives saying that it's a pivotal moment for Tesla and shareholders. You know that a lot of individuals like myself weren't happy necessarily with Elon and how he had more involvement and wasn't hyper-focusing on Tesla, especially how he's kind of been lagging in the autonomy race because we got cars from Waymo out, and he still hasn't got this robo fleet out in Austin. So it's, in my opinion, being a shareholder, I sold at 230. It may be a bad trade, but I do believe there's going to be some more time to get involved in some of these names, Obi. Come the end of next week, JPM starts reporting, right? So the banks are going to start reporting, I believe, on the 11th. And then now we're going to get right back into earnings seasons. Can we have a good Q1? I think so. But I think one thing to note and really pay attention to is the guides, right? We want to pay attention to guidance. And if companies start lowering guidance due to these tariffs and reciprocal tariffs, then you can see some potential pullbacks and drawdowns in some of these names because you know how the market is forward-looking. But Nvidia is just continuing to rip. I went 0 for 2 on TQs, guys. I gave back about like 33% of the day. That's okay. So it's unfortunate I didn't get a part of this IBIT long, but here we go, 0 for 1, 0 for 2 there as we broke through those highs. And we just never got that move back to the volume-weighted average price. And then now NVDA is absolutely blowing the top off here, guys. NVDA running through some key levels here, now to 109, running into 110. Guys, you know we have high levels of open interest at that 110 strike price, and let's see if we can get through this. I was messaging Katina Man earlier today, and I'm like, hey, 250 on Tesla, 23,000 open contracts. Look where we bounced off of in the earlier mornings, okay? So now we got 41,000 open contracts on NVDA at that 110 strike price with 21,000 on the put side, 41,000 on the call side. Let's see if we can break through this, because if we do, there can be some drastic squeezing here. But let's see what Adara's up to, guys.
I read this Politico report here with regards to Tesla, and I want to mention it's a lot more complex than it might appear based on the headline. So again, the headline from Politico was that Donald Trump has told his inner circle that Elon Musk will be stepping down in the coming days, and it wasn't super specific as to what he was stepping down from. From what I'm reading here, apparently Trump or Elon Musk was granted status as a special government employee for 130 days. During that time, he would be exempt from basically, I guess, ethics concerns. So people were initially expecting Donald Trump would be looking to push past that 130-day limit to give Musk more time in his administration. The 130-day limit would expire in late May or early June. Now, though, apparently, due to some concerns over his roles of political liability, Elon Musk will reportedly be stepping down from his role as a special government employee. However, he is expected to still remain very much involved in the White House. He will be seen in the White House. He is expected to remain an advisor in the White House. And also, apparently, someone from his team told Politico that anyone who thinks that Musk will be gone from Trump's orbit is, quote, fooling themselves. So apparently his role in the White House is not close to over, but his role as a special government employee might be. And again, this is just as reported by Politico. Zero confirmation yet. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Adara. Yeah, this action on Tesla is pretty wild here. 275s churning as of right now. Kind of a bit of a consolidation happening in and around this area. 275s here. I can kind of pull it up on this as well on the chart. But yeah, this the tape is not the same here. The book is not the same here. So let me pull that up. Right here. So 275s, you can see kind of trading here. Let's put up a bit of a filter. Let's put up a highlight for greater than 99, so we can get anything that's greater than a 1 lot here. 275s holding as of right now. Let's see if we get that continuation. The market pushing to the upside here as well. 19.7s on the TQs and 5.7s here on the ES as well. Let's see if Tesla can hold this 275 area. This consolidation is pretty nice here. Market tailwinds definitely on our side. 59.50s here on the TQs. For anyone who is looking at those. Nvidia 110.50s incoming here. And let's see what else is breaking its highs. Softy about to break its highs as well. Apple breaking. Alphabet almost on its way there. Amazon not really. It's still consolidating underneath a prior high there. So let's see if there is any sort of continuation off of this volume that's been coming into this market, man. Pretty crazy. Again, we expected some volatility today, and we are getting that volatility. And that reminds me, let's see what the VIX is up to here. Probably getting a little crushed off of some of its most recent highs here. So yeah, a little bit of a chop. Look at that. This is a 3-minute chart, kind of up to 23 halves, back down to 21.70s. Gonna keep an eye on this one as well to see if there's any sharp turns here on the VIX as well as it comes back into some prior areas that might be of interest. 276s, oh boy, here it goes. Tesla on its way. Can we get 280s today, Joe? Perhaps. Apple's pushing its highs as well. Let's see if we can get that 225 on Apple. This market is bidding up pretty aggressively, and I was kind of saying that we've been selling off into this potential catalyst here today, April 2nd. Everyone's anticipating some volatility and potential opportunities on today, and those are definitely coming in pretty hot. Across the day, we got some crazy moves on those factory orders numbers in the morning at 10 a.m. and now on some, I guess, I don't know if Trump and Elon is the specific news that's bringing in this volume, but definitely the market coming in with a lot of volume and volatility today.
Yeah, I agree with you on that front as well, Obi. It's unfortunate. So yeah, I had a pretty good day via options yesterday. I told you guys that I bought some. I got a nice fill here, so I placed the order the night before. And if I were to pull up the option, actually, I wish I could here. Maybe I will. I'll do that later. But you'll see on this expiration cycle, the October contract. I got this fill. So this was me down here getting filled on options, and then I sold half of it here, and then now I'm sitting in a couple remainder contracts here, and I'm looking for this to break. As the market's climbing higher, Amazon's not participating. Maybe it's laggard, but you can see that we're running into some key support and resistance zones. But what I noticed on the weekly expiration cycle is that 197 fives and then 200s might be in the works for today. So I'm like, hey, can we climb to 195 today? And then I'll just get all out of the position. So that's my game plan there on Amazon. And then IPOs is just continuously climbing higher. I'm kind of frustrated at myself. Sorry, we'll go to Adara in 1 second. I'm frustrated at myself that I didn't take this second entry and I shorted the Qs instead because the market seems relatively strong. But let's see what Adara's up to here, guys.
I just want to recap the Tesla story for anybody that missed it. So basically what happened here is Politico reported that Donald Trump has apparently told his inner circle, including cabinet members, that Elon Musk, who was the head of Doge and had been designated a special government employee, apparently he's going to be stepping back in the current incoming week. So it's worth noting, again, his status as a special government employee was set to expire anyway, or at least his exemptions from ethics concerns were. They were set to expire in 130 days. That would be late May or early June. However, even if he does step down from his role as a special government employee, as Politico is reporting, he's still very likely to retain an informal role as an advisor for the Trump administration, and he's very likely to continue to be both in Trump's orbit and around the White House. So again, Politico reporting that Elon Musk, whose role with those was considered to be a bit of a liability for Tesla, will be stepping down or stepping back from said role pretty soon. Back to you.
Thank you, Adair. I think that's going to be good for Tesla shareholders, most definitely. I have some notes here, guys. I'll pull them up for you that I was just doing last night. Let's see what we got going on. This is just more tariff-related stuff here, guys. So on January 19th, the average weighted tariff was about 2.7%, so the average weighted. So with the projected increase, the average weight would move to about 10.9%. That's quite a drastic increase, all right? So that will unwind about 60 to 70 years of past tariff reduction that has been unwound in a span of 2 months. So with every 100 basis point increase in weighted average price on those tariffs, so every 100 basis point increase on that average weighted tariff, that can add about 10 basis points of core inflation, all right? So those are some key numbers, and that's why traders and the market was weary is, okay, this is kind of inflationary, and you need to monitor this stuff very, very cautiously. So those are some good numbers. The average weighted tariff was 2.7%. That will now be increased to about 10.9%, okay? So those are really, really important, and now you can see the expense of certain things. Yeah, there we go, Rivian. I mean, it's facts, no? So you just gotta be weary of this stuff. But yeah, a nice look here on Nvidia. Do we have those topping signals here? Possibly. What I'll do is I'll pull it up on this chart, a nice inverted hammer candle. The thing is, though, people are saying, Joe, the Qs are ready to short. I've already taken it multiple times, so I'm going to be patient because with a market this strong and then you have certain names lagging, if they really start to pick up steam, then you don't want to be shorting the Qs. So you want to watch the Mag 7 and see what they're up to, but this is a good potential short signal here on NVDA. We'll be a little bit more patient. You can just have this as your risk profile, just the break of that 110.63 we'll call it. You want to give it a little bit of room just in case, but there is some potential options pinning at this 110 strike price here, Obi.
Yeah, I'm kind of just watching this Tesla, this 275 kind of holding, chopping around. We dropped down to about 270, was it 273 halves there, kind of making some lower highs potentially, but the market's still holding up, 19.7s here on the NASDAQ, and that 275 kind of just chopping around. We can look at here the 3-minute chart. We can go down a little bit lower here. So you can see we're holding consolidation near the highs as this kind of builds up and kind of consolidates to see where we'll go going forward. So we could kind of break down, we could break up. Those are different iterations of potential price action. VWAP is all the way down at 263.40s. Here, the current highs at 276.99. So yeah. Let's see if this market continues to the highs. I'm curious to know how quickly we may potentially get back to 20,000 if this bid kind of continues this week. So far, Joe, has been pretty strong. When the bid does come in, it's been coming in pretty hot and aggressive. Distinctly different from some of the price action we've been getting over the past few weeks as well, right? A little bit more selling dominant pressures over the past few weeks. And yeah, distinctly different. Wow, there goes Tesla, some pushing past that 276 half. So some fresh highs potentially incoming here for Tesla. Again, that 277, not that far away, only about 10, 15 pennies now, trading in the 80s. So this is, again, I love watching this price action, kind of interesting stuff, and just getting that seat time, right? This is what I was telling a few traders as well. When I would trade at home, and I've mentioned this before, I've blown up a couple of accounts, but wow, 277 halves right away, beautiful, holy. This is actually pretty wild action here, but no. So I would just sit down and continue to watch. Like it's not that just because I can't trade for the day doesn't mean that I'm still not gonna sit here and learn and observe.
Yeah, exactly.
Because regardless of whether I participate or not, the market's always handing out lessons, and I'm more than willing to kind of sit there and take part and sit in for that class, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you feel some type of ways about
I don't feel any rich homie Quan on that one there, brother. You know what I mean? So, R.I.P. rich homie Quan, though. By the way, hey. Yeah.
Was this recent? I'm not.
Yeah, he died a couple months ago, or last year, or something like that. And then rest in peace, young Scooter. For all my Atlanta individuals out there, losing Rich Homie and Scooter in a span of a couple of years. And my guy Trouble as well, too. A couple of years ago, I think Trouble was passed away. But yeah, I mean, enough of that stuff here, guys. Bitcoin is absolutely running to the top side. I feel FOMO so heavy on this, Obi, because I'm like, I wanted to get in right here, but instead I'm like, okay, let me short the Qs up here, and this would have been a much better trade. So just stick to your guns, I think, at the end of the day here, guys. So I'm only taking a bit of this. I got half of the move here, so again, I've seen this consolidation phase, a nice, consistent higher lows here, and then I didn't take that break, and you can see the volume by time profile really start to pick up. So yeah, RIP Val Kilmer as well too. So I think one of the better Batmans. I know a lot of people are saying rest in peace Scooter and stuff like that. 3.7s, we don't got him yet. We pick him up on the 11th. So we'll get that. We'll get Raptor up here. I know his name's Milo, but we'll call him Raptor. But yeah, shout out. Yeah, exactly. Damien, there we go, man. Shout out to all my ATL guys, Trouble, Scooter, and Rich Homie Quan. So yeah, we're not feeling any type of way about that here, guys. We want to focus.
Incoming.
Pardon me?
280s
280 on
Tesla.
On Tesla?
This market's ripping, dude.
Am I looking at the wrong stock here? I see 265.
It's 279.80s right now.
What's going on with my charting
Tesla.
here?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's going crazy, dude.
Am I like?
Wow.
Am I?
280s
oh wow.
Wow.
Okay,
Look
so
at
this
that
is
break.
so laggard.
Holy,
What's going on with my chart here? I'm not getting any information on what's going. 280s on Tesla here, guys. Off of these delivery numbers, now up 4.5%. Some good stuff. So I don't know why my chart's telling me we're hovering around 265. Thanks for that information there. That's not really working out for us. Okay, let's take a look. What do we got at 80s? 27,000 open contracts there, guys, on Tesla. Let's see how we react around those specific levels. It's unfortunate that I don't know why this is relaying false information for me here. So 265, they got me on this chart, which is not good. We don't want any of that stuff there, do we, Obi? But yeah, watch out for 280 here, guys, if we sit on top of that. Now 20,000. What did I just say it was a couple seconds ago? 27. Okay, yeah, so 27,000. We're now north of that. It looks like, Obi, 280.51. So shorts may be trapped at that 280 level. We can continue to climb higher. If you see that cover rally really start to step in, that's when you can see that gamma squeeze, and then we can get into 282.5s, and then after that, guys, it's almost blue skies. There's no real heavy open interest up until 290. So yeah, be weary for this. Really squeezing out here, Obi.
Yeah, no. Again, we talk about taking reps. So I definitely took some reps there on this one. I don't think the board, the what do you call it? The position board. Sorry, the position board is not on. I think it's definitely back on my live. I remember saying that. Don't forget, I'm trading on the demo, just taking those reps here. 280s coming in on Tesla, 280.50. So now we consolidated on the 275s. Now we're consolidating in and around 280s. Wow, again, my demo account is slightly different, so I did size accordingly to that, but yeah, no, 280s kind of, looking over here, 276.45s. I got in. I kind of built into the consolidation around that 275, looking for that continuation, and we're getting a little bit of that continuation as of right now. So just watching that. If that 280 holds and continues, that would be nice. But if we do take a pullback, again, keeping in mind that VWAP, we've become pretty extended off of VWAP, 264.70s, right? So, okay, so we're coming right back in here. So I do want to kind of piece off of that a little bit. Because if that trend breaks, don't necessarily want to be in and around there for that trend break, because that could be pretty aggressive to the downside. As the market turns, 19.7s we're pulling back through now on the NASDAQ, 279.30s trading here on Tesla. Still holding higher highs and higher lows. We could definitely pull back a little bit, but I'm kind of piecing in and out, just waiting, being patient for that next trade here. So yeah, no, pretty much out of that whole thing now. But yeah, no. So basically, what I aim to do is make the right kind of decisions. Right. Again, got shut down in the morning because I was not following my rules necessarily. So a good thing to do on the demo is make sure whatever you do, regardless of what you do, you make sure you're following the process, following the rules. It's more of an exercise to kind of put in the reps for following the rules for me than it is to just take the trades, right? It's like, all right, so this is how you get into the trade. This is how you get out of the trade. Are you following the rule? Are you putting the stop in? If you don't have a stop in, are you engaged on? You got your trigger finger ready to punch out if that reason to get out comes in within your risk limit, right? Tesla taking a little bit of a pullback here, back through that 280, 278s and change as of right now, 279s back in. But yeah, we're still consolidating. Let's see if this consolidation holds up a little bit higher. I'm looking for a pullback closer into that prior structure high here at 277s, maybe 275s. Gives us a little bit of a pullback, but the Nasdaq is pulling back here off of that 19,700, and the ES a little bit off of that 5,700, and we got 3 minutes left to finish printing this 15-minute candle here, so a little bit of red coming in. Let's see how much further we take a little bit of a pullback. That was an aggressive bid. I don't know if this is going to be the top, Joe, but we are kind of seeing a little bit of a slowdown for now. But we could just be consolidating. That's what we did around 275. We could be doing the same around 280 and then take another leg higher here. Again, I always got to watch out for when things start to really push into that momentum. We've got to be patient for that 3 pullback, right? Shout out to our boy Elliot. Elliot Wave Theory, kind of waiting for those 1, 2, 3s legs to kind of really assess whether the trade is on or not. What's up, Adara?
Q1 2025 is over, and so in light of that, get ready for a few infographics coming through on your timeline if you follow TTV Research on X. I am really doing a series here that's going to look at the top and bottom performers in the major indices and in each sector. So we're going to kick off here with the top NASDAQ 100 performers in Q1 2025. And the top of the list is actually PDD. That is going to be Chinese ADR PDD. Next up, we have EXC. This one was a great performer this quarter. You're going to see this in a lot more infographics. Amgen was a good look as well here. T-Mobile for the communications sector. And actually Coca-Cola Europe Pacific Partners taking the 10 spot. So keep an eye on this on X at TTV Research. Next up, it's going to be the 10 worst performers in the NASDAQ. And yes, we will have all 11 sectors on the S&P 500 best and worst infographics. Stay tuned. They are at work. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So here we go, guys. I know a lot of people calling the tops out here, but the thing is, so I'm short Nvidia. I'm 1 for 1 on the longs today, and I'm 0 for 2 on the shorts. So I'm gonna see how this works out. We have those topping signals placed here on the chart, and let's see if we can get that revert back to the mean. If we can't, then that's it. At some point you gotta be like, hey, I gotta follow the trend. And here's some more notes here. So again, I mentioned that next Friday, JPM starts reporting. So that's the start of the earnings season, okay? And with that, if the earnings come out good, but our guidance is lower, we can still be stuck in this pinning type price action. So I'm gonna be really, really patient. If we decide that we want to continue to move higher and higher and that the earnings are sufficient and good enough for us to continue to climb and start to recover some of the losses, then we go with the long. But if guidance and everything along those lines is not looking too good, then I got to continue to follow this trend. And I do believe that it's consistently to the downside right now. Even though we are recovering nicely, I think it's good that Elon is back focusing on Tesla and not in Doge. And as you can see how that's reflected in the underlying. So there it is. We're short some NVDA. we're going to get all out at the break of this, or at the test of this possible resistance zone. I think that's where we can run into. I talked about the high levels of open interest at 110. Let's see if this is going to be defended or we decide that we want to squeeze. So we're rejecting right now. That's a positive sign. We're going to wait for 109.40s before we take anything off the table here, because we're looking for that 2-to-1 risk to reward. I'm risking 50 cents. Wow. So I'm going to need a little bit more. So 109, to be honest with you. But we'll start piecing out at when we run into some resistance there, Obi. And I know you put on some pretty good trades here in the simulator. And one thing, sorry, before I send it back to you, one thing to note is that Amazon wasn't participating as everything else was rallying, so that's kind of a bummer. But nice topping signal on IBIT and Pizza Rat. I said, I don't know about those 50 calls, but you printed on those, brother. So good luck on that one, my friend.
Yeah, so Tesla with a little bit of a pullback here. 276 is incoming. So are we headed towards VWAP? I have no idea, but we are getting that selling coming in a little bit more distinctly now relative to before. But we've pulled back into that prior structure now at that 277. This is what I was talking about. This prior high, this little pullback. We're looking at, this is a 1-minute chart. This is a 3-minute chart here on the P-Pro 8. But you can see 277 halves kind of holding, pulling back into 276s. I kind of like the consolidation here for the continuation and some strong reasons to sell. Wow, look at that selling coming in. 276s, are you going to print? 276s, 275s as well, kind of maybe interesting, that consolidation. But yeah, we're pulling back in. Let's see if buyers kind of step up and continue the move here. The market's pulling back as well off of that 19.7, like we said, in that prior 15-minute candle. So we are pulling back into some moving averages here as well. So yeah, just looking to see if that bid will potentially come in. And if it does, do we get back up into 280s? Or if we consolidate, do we go sideways, kind of holding that 275? That was kind of consolidative a little bit earlier. Or if this kind of consolidation low breaks at that 273.19, then yeah, prior structures all the way down here at 267s. This is here again on that 1-minute chart. So that can definitely bring us down into that VWAP area if the market does, if this is the reversion on the market here. But yeah, a little bit of a short potentially coming in here. Let's see if that 275 prints, and let's see if we get that 19.6. Let's see if that selling can bring us all the way down. I'm curious to know. We've been having bidders pretty aggressive since about since the open, since 9:30. So since right about the open, buyers have been pretty much in control. This is the first kind of one of the first times you can see that it's sold off aggressively as well before. We can go to the TQs as well to get a better idea of the broader market. You can see that again, strong selling happened here in and around 10 o'clock, pulls back into VWAP, bids back up. So since then we've been chopping, we got a strong bid, and this is the next kind of strong selling that we've been getting. So there it is, 275s and change incoming here on Tesla. So that's coming in pretty nicely. Do we get all the way down to VWAP? On a 3-minute chart, I have an 8 EMA at 276.30s, so we're trading below that as well. We were holding above that EMA, but let's see if this candle closes above that and we maintain trends. Because you can use different indicators to kind of signal trend, right? Sometimes I like to use moving averages. Sometimes I like to use trend lines. Sometimes I like to use just higher highs and higher lows. Really depends on the setup and what I'm kind of looking for and how the stock is behaving at times. Sometimes it's not following a moving average. I'm like, this is not going to work. Obviously, if it's not following it, but like maybe it's not following the moving average perfectly, but it's holding structure, higher highs and higher lows. So then in that scenario, I'll be like, all right, well, to define a trend here on this stock, I'm not going to use a moving average. Maybe I'm not even going to use a trend line, but I'm going to use higher highs and higher lows to tell me that this is still trending or not, right? So it's like just kind of switching it up based on the behavior of the stock itself or the vehicle that I'm trying to trade. But Tesla coming back into a little bit of a moving average. Let's see if it holds this trend indicator here for now. But again, the ultimate kind of trend indicator, maybe potentially VWAP, and VWAP's all the way down, all the way here at the lows. For TQs, we got them just shy of that 58 level. I'm curious to know what happens to the price action once VWAP gets above 58. That's going to be interesting. Let's go to Tesla here as well. Yeah, so Tesla VWAP all the way down to 265.60, so over 10 points lower here is VWAP on Tesla. And you can see that. You can see kind of why a lot of consolidation here, and then this price action, sure, it came in with expanding volume, but we haven't been, we didn't really spend too much time at a lot of those prices. So obviously not a lot of volume done on that push up. So would you say this is a low volume pull up? I have no idea, but a little bit of a pullback we're getting as of right now. Let's see, let's put on some technicals here. See. Bit of a trend line. Let's go from there. So let's see if we can hold that as well. That could be interesting. But yeah, that's what I'm watching here. Nothing too crazy. Volatility definitely dominant on the day today. Seems like any sort of catalyst, any sort of news coming in is bringing in a lot of volume into this market.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, brother. Yeah, guys, I'm short some Nvidia. I actually tripled up the position here as we started to break down, but you can see that we're starting to run into some resistance that is now acting as support. If we break through that, then maybe we can get to the middle of this range here and tap into the volume weighted average price. That's going to be one of the targets, but yeah. Because I was looking for such a bigger move, I'm like, okay, we're breaking down. Let me just triple this up here. So I started small, and then I just tripled that position right here, looking for the continuous breakdown. But one thing that I will note is that it's not always the best idea. Like I'm like adding into this for the anticipation of the break. And sometimes anticipation always isn't the best. You want to participate, as we like to say. So again, we'll just be patient and see if the overall market wants to come in. And if it does, we can maybe get the middle of the range here. So there we go. Nice look here on NVDA, 190.04. We're going to, Fabian, hit the diamond hands for me, even though we don't know how this one's going to work here. But I'll hit the bang and wait for those diamond hands from Fabian there. Wow! Oh, the reversion here. Yeah, the reversion is
so nice.
It's coming in nice here, OB. Let's see if NVDA is going to want to participate there. Ooh, Abdullah, my guy. Abdullah, nice work, man. Yeah, he's like, Joe, I'm short. So my guy Gorev and Abdullah there have been just killing it. So nice short there. Nice signals on that one. We took a couple attempts on it. Didn't work out, but you got that right entry there. So good work there. Let's see what everybody else is up to. If you want us to go over some charts, then feel free to just put it in the chat. We'll do so. So here you go. You can see, prime example, if we can pull up my chart. Yeah, thanks. You can see that we just couldn't break through that resistance zone. I had a feeling I should have probably taken some off right here. Yeah, so not looking good for this potential squeeze. This primary trend is still fully intact, which I'm not absolutely in love with here, because if the market's really strong and decides that it just wants to go parabolic before we hear from, oh, Amazon, let's go, Amazon, Obi, my guy, let's go. That's what we need here, guys. Amazon.
Calls,
I'm like, it was, those calls. I mean, it was lagging. I'm like, what's Amazon doing? Sure enough, all it needed was a couple breaths, and then now climbing higher. Let's go to those calls there on Amazon, breaking through. I have a game plan, 195. I have an order set out for these contracts, so let's see if we can run into that. That is insane. Look at this volume really step in here as we break through. There has to be some news or something along those lines on Amazon. We're going to get it from Adara if it is coming out, but that is a really good look. Look at this breakout here after that consolidation phase on Amazon. We'll go to a 3-minute time frame, but we're just consolidating, and we were climbing higher and higher in some of these big names, and Amazon wasn't taking part. Well, so I was like, what's going on with that? Of course, the one position I'm in isn't moving, but here we go. Amazon volume. Let's see what Adara's got for us.
I have news on Amazon here. So the New York Times reporting that Amazon is making a bid to buy TikTok in the U.S. Again, just a report as of right now, but New York Times reporting that Amazon is looking to make a bid to buy TikTok in the U.S. Keep an eye on ORCL off of this as well. Oracle is one of the companies that's been mentioned probably the most with regards to a potential TikTok bid. ORCL, maybe unsurprisingly, dropping off of that news. So Oracle and Amazon on watch after the New York Times reported that Amazon is going to be bidding to buy TikTok in the U.S. Back to you.
Thank you.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna start doing TikTok dances with Amazon here. Come on, Amazon. That's what we want. I still have to find that one. I need some choreography and some music. You know what I mean? Maybe we can fire one up there together with me, and we'll get Fabian and everybody else on a Trader TV Live TikTok dance. There we go. Maybe. Starring Sharif, because he used to break dance, so he'd probably be the better dancer.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know he used to break dance.
Yeah, he used to break dance. Yeah,
okay, we gotta. Yeah, I want to see some of those moves then.
Yeah, bebop. Yeah, bebop. boy. So there you go. Amazon 300 options.
Wow.
December. You have Jameson. You have Amazon 300s. That's crazy.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, here we go. 194 on Amazon, continuing to climb higher. Let's see if we can take another leg down lower here on NVDA, Obi.
Yeah, this bid's coming right back in. Here, you guys okay over there?
Yeah, what is going on back there? It's like a war zone.
Yeah. What's that?
Upgrades.
Oh, mandatory upgrades, Ramina's saying.
Yes.
So that bid coming in pretty aggressively here on the TQs. You can see again with only about 4 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. Look at that bottom wick that's forming as of right now. About to break back through open, it would seem, here on this 15-minute candle on the TQs, maybe on the ES as well. We're saying we're keeping an eye on the VIX. A little bit of a bouncy action here on the VIX. 2161 is the low there. 22 is coming in, but nice little reversion we've been getting. Nice little range action here. So we've been holding this at 2160s area for the past couple of days here. Let's see if that hold comes in again on the VIX. So that hold would mean the VIX kind of goes up and the market kind of maybe potentially perhaps goes down as well. So is this turn the turn? I have no idea, but we might have a little bit of VIX confluence on our side as well when it comes to that level. But if it doesn't hold, it doesn't hold. More than willing to be wrong a couple of times at the very least, and totally wrong at the very most as well. 15-minute chart on Tesla. Opening price is 278.55. So we're currently trading 277.70s. So that's coming in with only about 3 minutes left. So that could definitely go a little red to green on that 15-minute candle as well. So just watching these markets here, it's about, where's the time? It's 11:57 as of right now. So almost 12 o'clock. And when do you know what time around he's going to be coming out with?
I think like 4 o'clock roughly.
4 o'clock.
Everybody
so
seems
right
to
after
be,
the close.
Yeah, seems to be the narrative. So everybody's saying AREB there, guys. I know Tisha in the chat is going on about that. So is a couple other individuals. So we'll take a look at this one. Yeah, American Rebel Holdings just absolutely going parabolic here, guys. From 11:25 this morning. I know this is definitely Sharif's ballpark here. This is a different world of trading. You got a prestige to get up to here, as Obi was saying yesterday. 265% on the session, from 150 all the way to a high of 586. So there you go. That is the nice move on AREB. So good look there. Yeah, Mean Green, I got you. We'll take a look at RGTI for you as well. RGTI. Yeah, really good look here on Rigetti. I thought this thing was just down to like $4 or something the other day. Okay, yeah, so this is my issue with this. So you want to go through the fundamentals on stocks. These guys aren't making any money whatsoever. They're not doing too good. I want you to, again, I don't want to compare apples to oranges, but go through the likes of a company like Hood, right? So go through Hood's past like 4 quarters and go through Rigetti's, and you kind of want to compare it to this, to the extent of like, hey, Hood is consistently growing, they're raising guidance, et cetera, et cetera. But meanwhile, RGTI still isn't even on the profitable side of things. They're like double misses here and there. So yeah, that's my look. I do think that this space is going to highly come into play at some point. I do want to get involved in this name, and I'm glad that I didn't get involved in it all the way at the peak here. RGTI and RR. I know it's kind of different sectors here. This is quantum, but these, again, like Rich Tech Robotics, I want to get involved in this name here. So that's what I'm looking at. And QBTS, I believe QBTS, is it? Or QUBTS? Yeah.
QUBT? Or QBTS is one.
QUBT, right?
Yeah, QUBT is one, QBTS.
Yeah, those are 2 different ones. So yeah, another name that I'm looking forward to getting into is the quantum space. So yeah, we'll be patient. You don't want to chase things too much. I think April earnings are going to be really, really important here, guys, especially the guidance forward-looking market. So just be patient and wait, because you might be able to get some of these good stocks at good numbers, especially at good prices, especially if they lowered those forward looks for Q2 and the rest of them. And if you get full year guidance downgrades, then by all means, it's probably going to be a buying frenzy at that point there, Obi.
Yeah, for sure. I think that those are things definitely to look forward to. Watching Nvidia, this 110, man, you can't really get through this 110. We know that 110's been a little bit of an interesting area as well over the past a little bit, and that 110 can't really get past it. Day high currently 110.49, so couldn't really get past the half as well. Futures continue to pull back a little bit. We did close green on that prior 15-minute candle, but now with the fresh candle coming in, only 30 seconds into this candle. Right now, we're getting a little bit more selling at the beginning of it. Let's see if that buying kind of continues. The one we saw that made the prior bottom wick there of that candle, we did go a little red to green on that bar, on that prior 15-minute bar. So just being patient, watching. Let me know what you guys are trading as well. I want to know. I'm curious to know what people are involved with. We can quickly go through some volume leaders as well. I know that a lot of people involved in some of these small caps that have been going crazy over the past few days. Again, NMAX, some of these IPOs as well, right? That seems like that's been the theme here. Some of these IPOs going crazy. CoreWeave was going crazy this morning as well. I got to take a look at that one. Didn't really have eyes on that one after the morning session. Palantir, wow, look at that nice little push off of the opening session, holding consolidation near highs. AAPL taking flight there, right back above that $10 mark, 1050s, 1056 is the day high. CSAI, that one's been moving. QBTS, we saw Joe just take a look at this one as well. A little bit of a chop, VWAP orbit on that one. Intel, oh, hello. Wow, that is some nasty action there. Nice little chop sideways grind on Intel in and around that VWAP mark. So that's coming in. Rivian, oh boy, okay, so we know that cars might be of interest on a day like today. But 13 rejection right off of the open there on Rivian. SoFi is still trending to the upside. Pretty strong action there. It's pretty extended off of its VWAP as of right now as well. No idea what that ticker is, BTG. But NEO, okay, NEO holding below VWAP as of right now. RIG, contract drilling, and that's a little bit to the downside. So maybe RIG is getting a little drilled. SMCI, 34 day low. Okay, yeah, I was like, wasn't that the day low yesterday? Yeah, the 34 area day low as well today. So maybe some demand coming in once again off of that level on a back-to-back day basis. Robinhood as well, kind of strong. A lot of these tickers holding their gains that they've had from the morning session, holding above VWAP. Again, strong market tailwind, definitely playing a little bit of a factor there. So those were the volume gainers on the day as of right now. But yeah, ICCT, let's take a quick look at what NMAX is up to. I know a lot of people were involved in that one. And that one, the shorts yesterday were pretty juicy in terms of pricing. And it seems like that came in by the end of the day. There are 280s at the highs in the after hours. And then, yeah, most of that price action, as most of the best prices kind of being done in the after hours and the pre-market. So you kind of got to hold some of these overnight and put on that risk if you want to capture that move. But again, this is a day 3, I think. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, day 3 move for NMAX. We did get pretty overextended there on that push up into 280s. What was the other one as well? There was NMAX and WTF.
CRWV. You go over that one already?
Yeah, CoreWeave, I got to go over that one next. But WTF was pretty strong 28s there, and then nice little flush. Look at back-to-back halts to the downside off of the open after a single halt up. So couldn't really get past some of these pre-market levels and cracks down. What a beautiful short on this one there. Nice little action on WTF. And CRWV as well. CoreWeave, let's see what our friend CoreWeave is up to. 64 high. So I was watching this action to the upside in the morning session. I was like, oh boy, look at that VWAP pull. Look at that opening range high break. Not really clean, but it's giving you that trend, higher highs, higher lows again on that choppy action. So this is kind of a scenario where, yeah, maybe some of the moving averages aren't working. Maybe a little bit of trend is working, but you kind of find out, you see that's not really clean as well. So go straight to just structures, prior highs. Are we holding higher lows? Are we holding higher highs? Yes, we're trending up, and that trend kind of breaks in and around here. Let's see what's happening now with the Dara.
Here's the NASDAQ generally still pushing to the upside with a little bit of a bottoming tail in this last 15-minute candle on the Qs. Then we have the S&P 500 looking almost identical to the NASDAQ. IWM here I would say looking even better, up almost 1% in a much cleaner uptrend than either of its larger peers. So long story short, this market's heading to the upside. TSLA here, a bit of a misleading headline from Politico, but long story short, Donald Trump reportedly telling his inner circle that Elon Musk will be stepping back from his role as a special government employee, but he's still very likely to be involved in the White House to a large degree, according to this Politico article. Then we have AMZN on watch, another mega cap name with a pretty exciting midday catalyst. Amazon reportedly making a bid to buy TikTok in the U.S. Oracle, which is one of the names that's been floated around the longest with regards to a potential TikTok bid, did drop a little bit on this news. So keep an eye on ORCL and AMZN, as well as TSLA heading into the rest of the day. Tariffs, we're still going to have to wait till 4 p.m. Eastern to get any word on those. Back to you.
For that one, yeah, Jag, my guy, just go back and watch. We can go over some things now. Like, if you're looking for tops and bottoms, what you want to try to be able to identify is selling pressure at extremes. So you can see at one point this was just a nice pivot. You didn't get the isolation on it, but you can see that we're at an extreme high, and you have a nice isolated volume signature, and then you have that selling pressure in here. So buyers push it up, sellers push it back down. But you want to look for these indecision prints at extreme highs and extreme lows. I also like what Adara pointed out right there. That's mid-range, but this is what we're looking for, is signals like these that are more isolated, so you'd want an isolated pivot. Let me see if I can pull out my trusty tool and draw something for you real quick. So essentially here, we have a stock that's going up, comes back, pulls up. But what we want to be able to identify is candles that are isolated from here, and then you can see that we just continue, and the same thing at extreme lows, right? You continue to move to the downside. I know my artistic skills are absolutely horrible, but that's okay. But you want to look for extreme indecision at extreme levels, so an extreme high or at an extreme low, and then that's when you can get that bounce up there. So yeah, there you go, my Picasso style of drawing there. But again, it's just a rough estimate. Go back and watch those volume price analysis. The Bart Simpson indicator, is that what it looked like? I mean, go back and watch the volume price analysis lessons, and then you're going to get a good understanding. Also ask individuals in the chat. Abdul knows what he's looking for. Los Polios knows what he's looking for, and my guy Gorev most definitely knows what they're looking for, and they can help you identify what specific signals you want to look for those reversals at extreme highs and extreme lows. I don't love this NVDA trade. We're just not breaking down. We're running into some support levels, and we can't break through them. We keep testing them. I mentioned before that this consolidation phase right here was slightly alarming, and then you can see that we come right into the peak of it, and now we're just bouncing up it. So I wouldn't be surprised if it got squeezed out here, and I'm significantly heavier, so that'll probably just chew up the majority of my gains on the day, if not all of them at that point there, Obi. So yeah, appreciate you, Jag. Lay, the caffeine, I don't even drink. I try not to drink too much coffee there, Sid McThomas. So yeah, I guess thanks. 1, 2, 1, I don't know. But yeah, you Tesla traders aren't shorting enough, adds to your position and hold overnight. Thank yourselves in the morning. Epic strategy, I don't know. You don't want to fight this trend. Why would you want to fight a stock that's potentially squeezing, right? Just like how NVDA is probably going to crack through the highs here momentarily. We're not getting that move back. All right, KNNT. That's it. I've got a low tolerance today here, so you're going on a little bit of a break here, my friend, if you continue to do that. Sincerely, we appreciate you and everything, but that's it. So take a little bit of a breather and come back when you decide not to spam the chat there, my friend. But yeah, not looking too good here in NVDA. I do believe we get squeezed out, Obi.
Yeah, the squeeze is definitely happening here on a lot of tickers. Yeah, no, it's still got eyes on Tesla. Tesla, I think, is definitely, again, potential intraday catalyst as well. And we're getting that continuation off of some of those levels that we saw the 275 hold, we saw the 280 kind of fail, but that 275 comes back in, and now it's holding as well. pulling back up into that 280 mark. So now we're a little bit of a sandwich between that 280, 275. High of day at 281.60s as of right now. But yeah, Bazooka saying Tesla can go to 300 easily. Yeah, I think so. I think it can definitely go to 300 very easily there. Bit of a bounce that's coming in well within range, right, of the bigger picture move and the volatility and the ATR that Tesla has, well within range with the next day move as well, right? Well within range of a single day move, but very strong on the day today. It seems like we're getting some continuation off of that level as of right now here on the day. That 75 hold, man, that was pretty nice. That 75 kind of running away from that 75 area here. Potentially, yeah, maybe back up to that 300 mark. And Sean saying, yes, he's right in the money bowl there.
That's my guy, man. Let's go.
Palantir 85 long, saying Sean. So let's take a quick look at Palantir 85 long. Let's go. Wow. Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's see.
Bang.
Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Right there. So you were sitting there. Boom. Yeah. Yeah. He went swimming and he got that. That was beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let's go. And then that's where the bid comes in right off of. That's wild there. And it was at 87s, that prior high. And this thing is headed for that day high, Sean. This market's coming in real hot. Palantir, let's see if we can get to 87.35s here. Only about a few pennies away from that day high on Palantir. So absolutely wild action there. Strength coming in all across the board in this market here. So let me know what you guys are trading. Yeah, Bazooka. He really wants that 300 coming in. Yeah, only about 20 points, man. 20 points. I don't know off the top what the ATR for Tesla is, but we can take a quick look right now. And believe me when I tell you, well within ATR's range is that Tesla mark. If not, then maybe about 2 days. Yes, exactly. So 1969 is Tesla's ATR. So about 20 points away from 280s is that 300 mark. So well within that range. Just pretty much pushing that limit, but definitely within range. 281.60s day highs potentially coming in as Tesla is hot to the upside. This market coming in real hot as well. You got any trades on? What are you looking at?
I'm still in this Nvidia short that's not looking too good here, Obi, as the Meg 7 look like they want to take an additional leg higher, my guy. Google pushing through those highs. Amazon now tapping into 195. The Q's putting in a new high day, and I'm here short Nvidia. Never mind with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, I guess there. It's all past history, and we don't do that. We don't do if, ands, or buts, or maybes. We do for sure's around here, guys. But that would have been a nice trade. I would have been really happy if I had the ability to stick through this. But yeah, NVDA not looking too good for me. I'm going to hop out of this trade there and not just take too big of a loss, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So we'll wait for another opportunity to arise. It does look like the longs are fully in play here today, Obi, as Google breaks through. NVDA going for the high day as well, too. So it's just a slow grinder here. I don't want to chase anything to the top side right now either. But yeah, that's it. So out on NVDA, tried that short, ran right into this resistance zone, and then just rejected it, and now climbing and about to probably go and crack the high day. So 0 for 3 on the shorts, 1 for 1 on the longs here. So still slightly positive, not by much though. Gave back the majority of what we had going on for the day with those short trades as the market continues to climb higher and higher here, guys. So yeah, be patient. I'm going to be really, really patient on that next entry. I do like Google and I do like Amazon up here, but that's the thing. I'm not going to chase all the way up here just yet, Obi.
Yeah, no, this bid's coming in real hot. So we reclaimed that 19.7 mark here on the Nasdaq, and that 5,700 is coming right in on the ES as well. ES hasn't broken its highs just yet, kind of lagging a little bit behind here relative to the Nasdaq, which has broken its highs. Let's see what Adara has to say.
Keep an eye here on TSLA. We have comments coming through from Dan Ives of Wedbush, who earlier today actually said that he thinks that Elon Musk being with Doge could be a bit of a problem for the stock, though he did maintain their overweight rating and $550 price target. Now he's on CNBC saying that he actually thinks Elon Musk will stay with Doge in some form. That basically echoes what we heard in the report from Politico, suggesting that he would be stepping back. And he also said that he believes Elon Musk's government involvement is about a $100 overhang for the stock. So let's see what ends up happening here. This report has not been confirmed, but Dan Ives here chiming in on the earlier report suggesting that apparently Donald Trump told his inner circle that Elon Musk will be stepping back from his government role in coming weeks. Back to you.
You for that, Adara, much appreciated. So yeah, I mentioned for shareholders, I think that's a positive thing for Elon to be stepping back. I think that was just a gimmick because he paid so much. Like Elon funded Donald's campaign, essentially gave him a lot of money. And so he's like, oh, here you go. Here's this Doge position. But then you can see what that did to the stock price for a long period of time. But now we're starting to recover here, Obi.
Yeah, a little bit of a recovery happening for sure. I mean, let's take a higher time frame look on this Tesla chart as it kind of comes in. Look at this strength, man, on the day. This is a 3-minute chart. Beautiful action here, kind of holding prior structures, pulls back into that 275, holds, pulls right back up, breaks the high a day right now, and currently we are blasting to the upside here, 282.60s incoming here. That is the current day high, but we'll go to the higher time frame here, go to a 3-hour chart and take a look at what this thing has been up to right after we get back from Adara.
Another day, another very volatile IPO here for these markets. This is Topwin International, TOPW. It's already halted. This is its first 3-minute candle of trading. This one was priced at $4 per share, opened around, looks like $4.95 per share, about 2,664,000 shares involved. So TOPW already halted within its first 3 minutes of trading. Looks like this very volatile IPO season is only just beginning. Back to you.
Lies, Bobby Posey, what is lies, my friend? It was a tax write-off, yeah, I guess. So there you go. Yeah, I'm saying it's just not enough to keep grifting. So yeah, things continuing to climb here. Obi, I'm going to be a little bit patient. Do you have anything going on there, brother?
Nothing too crazy. Just watching this Tesla move, you know. Yeah, I was going through this 3-hour chart here on Tesla, right? So we can go back. I know. Again, I got a lot of indicators. I don't really use a lot of them. I do have to kind of go in and clean a lot of this up. But oh boy, so yeah, so we came down into this downtrend. We broke above it. This was a little significant, in my opinion, and you can see that we pulled back in. Hold that 215 is the low right here on this day, and then we kind of pull right back up. So a lot of confluence for the long here on this 220. I think that prior day low was like 220 and some change. We lick grabbed that 220. Yeah, so I really liked this kind of place for that potential long. And yeah, it's coming in pretty nice here. Look at that aggressive bid, man. So prior highs at 291.85. We're currently trading at 281.70. So well within range of that prior high. And if we continue to go back up, you can see this black anchored right here is the anchored from the highs. So you can see sellers were dominant there until they finally kind of didn't let it go past that. And then we kind of extended away from that average and sold off pretty aggressively and kind of puked. You can see the volume bar here. I'm going to take some of the indicators. We can see that volume bar on the flush down that we had that day. Pretty much the highest volume bar since last year November. It seems like. So pretty significant volume that came in on that selling. We've been only making higher highs, higher lows since then. We got some breaking news with Adara.
More breaking news. I apologize. I feel we'll be doing a lot of this today, but here is NVAX. This one dropping to the downside after the Wall Street Journal reported that the FDA has apparently missed its deadline for granting the full approval to the company's COVID-19 vaccine. They're apparently sitting on the Novavax decision because their vaccine chief is currently gone, though the FDA had been poised to grant full approval to the Novavax vaccine by April 1st. So again, NVAX, no word here from the FDA yet. The FDA missed the deadline. We were expecting an approval for their COVID vaccine as per Wall Street Journal. Also keep an eye on Amazon and Oracle here. David Faber of CNBC saying that the decision on TikTok with regards to it, whether we're staying in the US or not, could come as soon as today. Amazon, in case you missed it, is reportedly making a bid for TikTok's U.S. operations, as reported by the New York Times. Oracle has been heavily in talks since the beginning to be making a bid. So RSCL and AMZN on watch here. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Adiri. I was just talking to Officially. So again, I had the order out for 195 on those contracts and got filled there. It's crazy. So I got stopped out on the open on Monday, right? So I told you guys I had a position, and I'm like, okay, I like the bottoming signal from a daily perspective. So we'll pull it up from a daily to see what we going on and just like essentially what the thesis was here. So I was essentially long here. I had a ratio spread set, so a 2-to-1 ratio spread on my contracts, and then I get all the way up to 206. I'm like, I was being a little bit greedy and I didn't take it off. But then as we broke through the low, my stop got triggered. I'm like, oh, okay, that really sucks. But take a small hit. It was all pre-planned. Take a 3-figure hit. Nothing crazy. Then I'm like, okay, I like this daily print. Let me get back in and place an order lower. And I wasn't looking to, like, I put it out there, but I wasn't expecting to get filled, Obi. But then this bottom wick fills me. So then I had some out the money calls filled at 185 roughly. And then now we took that ride all the way up to 195. So a 10-point move there on Amazon, looking really, really good on those contracts all out now there, guys, because I wasn't going to make that same mistake twice. I should have took some off here, didn't, but then I like this setup better. And then that's why I went. I didn't even ratio spread it. I just flat out bought the contracts, and then we got that nice move up there, brother.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, this is. I guess it's.
Oh, you're not
working.
tapped in. You gotta tap in.
I gotta do this.
I'll hit it. He hit the bang.
Yeah, let's go. Great trade on Amazon there, bro.
Appreciate that, bro.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice little bounce that
Towers.
we got off of. Towers. Let's go. Yeah. Did you say this yesterday?
Friday.
We're going for Towers.
Yeah, on Friday
go.
we can maybe go back and see
Friday
what Grant closes
potentially.
up.
Yeah, let's see if
you doing anything on Friday? Or?
Not that I know of. I gotta check, but yeah.
I know you always got a little something.
You
always got a little something cooking up there. But
I've been going out a lot more on the weekends, I guess. Just hanging out.
If that might yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're trading. That's Obi's old guy. But yeah, I guess you got the Miami fever when you were down there. You on spring break.
Yeah. I was like, a lot of people partying, and I was like, it's definitely, the warm weather definitely gets you into that vibe.
Yeah, it definitely gets you going.
Well, we've been seeing a little bit of warm weather here. Last week we had one day that was 10 degrees, and all of a sudden it's freezing this week.
Cold.
But yeah, it's we're waiting for that summer weather to come in. It's not here just yet, but. Potentially, it will come in. 19,750 here on the NASDAQ.
Is it?
Wow,
Is
no
it?
way.
All right, then there we go.
Saying it's 13 to 17 degrees Celsius tomorrow. Thunderstorms all day today.
Tomorrow, I heard, so.
That's okay though. A little bit of rain. A little bit of rain to wash away the sorrows.
Well, I'll tell you what. The shorts have already washed away all my gains, so we don't. No more sorrows need to be washed away here now for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
As Nvidia is now breaking through the high, so I'm glad that I got out there, guys. I added to the position. I tripled it up, and I'm like, we're just not breaking down. And that's the thing. I can't just flip the bias like that. To be honest with you, and it's like, well, Joe, why don't you flip long? If you just do that all the time, you're just going to be chopping yourself up, and you're going to be really, really scratching your head and going bald really, really quick there. But yeah, I don't got anything else going on here. Obi, are you got anything in the sim going or?
Yeah, I'm kind of in this Tesla short here,
Nice.
a short at like 280s, letting it go against me a little bit, but yeah, just waiting. So I've been kind of shorting along the way, pretty light, kind of getting in lightly there, but yeah. Definitely coming into where I definitely should be stopping out and will be stopping out as if it does continue to tick up a little bit higher there. But yeah, we've been extending pretty aggressively off of that move. Again, I got to put on that anchored VWAP. That's what I'm forgetting to do. Whenever that catalyst comes in, I got to throw on that anchored VWAP. Shout out to Brian Shannon there for that anchored VWAP indicator there, kind of coming in really clutch on trades where you have significant volume. Maybe you have short-term participants. It's a good indicator, I find, to kind of see, give a gauge of where the average participant might be sitting off of a given event or starting from a given event. And yeah, anchored VWAP is pretty great for that. You can see that extension coming in. You can even throw on today's VWAP. You can see today's VWAP, the intraday VWAP, all the way down here, right? But you throw on that anchor to that volume that comes in, you anchor it to the event, and you can see that this VWAP coming in a little bit more handy as price is extended off of the average from the rest of the day. The situation has changed. The landscape has changed. This point of this news that comes in definitely changes the landscape, and the anchored VWAP is definitely useful in looking at that at the landscape going forward from that time onwards for the rest of the day. And you can see that we've been kind of extending off of that one as well. Coming up in the 285s as of right now is Tesla as of right now. But let's see, we pull back, we break this trend, maybe we take a little bit of a pullback. We are pretty extended on this market as well, 19,750s. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, we got trade the pool, guys. Every trader knows that if you want to grow, you have to risk more. At least that's how it used to be. Trade the pool is changing that. Starting at $47, my guy Stevenson there, you get a real shot at trading with up to $200K in company capital, while your risk stays capped at that one-time evaluation fee. You don't need a large deposit. You don't need years of experience. This is a limited risk trading platform built for any trader who wants to grow without putting everything on the line, just a small skin in the game, and you're trading with real capital. Here's how it works. You pay a one-time evaluation fee starting at $47. That's your total risk. From there, you trade real shares, no CFDs, using company capital. Head over to Trade the Pool and start your journey today. There you go. Stevenson, my guy, yeah, so I know you've been crushing it, so good work there, my friend. And then Hal are, yeah, exactly. I went to tag you the other day, and I didn't see your name in there. I forgot what I had to say to you. But yeah, Hal, again, we had a nice trade on, I don't know if you've been were watching here earlier, so we had a nice trade on IBIT, and I was going to take this long here, but I didn't pull the trigger, so hesitate on that one. But then we got chopped up here in the TQs, right? So we took 2 losses on the TQs, and then we took a loss here on Nvidia. But again, you can see how orderly the losses are. They're not anything crazy. I'm not doing anything erratic along those lines, right? So we'll document this stuff, well justified. We had the setups there, but the market is really, really strong today. So we're gonna need a really, really definitive signal that says, hey, Joe, hey, Obi, we're ready to turn around, and then we're gonna look to take advantage of that. So I'm red on my prop firm on the day, took 2 losses and hit my daily loss and log out. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's part of the game. So I think such an underrated skill in trading, Obi, I don't know if you can agree with this or not, is just having the ability to walk away and coming back the next day. I don't know how you necessarily... I think that's the most underrated skill in trading, is accepting that, hey, you suck today, but guess what? I'll be back tomorrow, accept my small loss, and then I'm going to come back fresh and early. I'll do my TA, take a couple-hour break. I'll do my technical analysis. I'll go over where I was wrong, write out my game plan on what I did wrong and then what we can do to improve. But just having that ability to walk away, I think, is a skill that is really undervalued in trading.
For sure, man. I definitely agree with that. That's a skill that again, I'm still working on and building, but I have built that over time here as well. Again, trading is definitely one of the hardest things to do, and you have to be able to take a beating. You have to be able to come in day after day, know that you're probably going to lose a lot more than you win, and you have to maintain that mental to continue to follow your processes, continue to follow your procedures, continue to follow your rules while you're getting beat down by said market. So and that definitely takes a lot of grit, and it takes you definitely have to build that ability over over time. It's just it's not. It doesn't just some people may naturally have it, but again, I definitely naturally did not. But yeah, I have horrible days. I have good days as well, and you just got to keep rolling with the punches. Just tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's another trade. Where is the next trade? That's why I always kind of reiterate that over and over again, because it builds on that mentality of being like, okay, well, no matter what happens, like, okay, this didn't work. I didn't follow my rules. I didn't do this. This is how I can get better. This is what I'll do better. This is the new rule set. This is what I'm going to improve on. Okay, where is the next trade? Like that is the process that you have to adopt and pretty much indoctrinate yourself with to really survive in this game, and keep a level head. And there's going to be losses, and again, something I'm realizing, and we've been talking about this. Some of the best traders in the world, 20, 30, 40% win rates.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's so it's like that tells you that they lose 70 up to 70, 80% of the time, right? So. But you got to understand how the math works there. If you're managing your risk, and then your tail winners are much larger than your tail losses, then things definitely can work out pretty nicely, even with an average win rate of 30%. I think that's something I'm trying to adapt to and wrap my head around as well a little bit better throughout my journey. Currently on my journey.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, it's like just find the little things that agitate you. Like if in the morning, if you're a grumpy person, just make sure you eat and do all those things. Make sure you have good quality sleep too. I know Obi's big on that. I'm big on sleep as well. But just try to avoid all those things that can potentially like kind of get you agitated or anything along those lines, because this will most definitely do that to you. But just like eat in the morning, make sure you get well rest, and then come in being prepared to what might be put in front of you on the day. But yeah, here we go. PSN, my guy, I know you've been asking quite politely multiple times. Burak here, Ugar. Nice look here on Parsons Corp, but you can see that we have liquidity issues here, my friend. I don't know if we would necessarily be trading this. And then here you go. I do like that you pointed this out. It's now broken through a 3-week consolidation. So if this volume is really supporting this move and then sits on top of it, you might be okay on that front. Let's see what they actually do, because I know nothing about this stock. So we'll type in PSN, see what we got going on from a market cap standpoint. So $6.8 billion market cap. Parsons Corporation is a provider of solutions and services for the security environment. Unprecedented global infrastructure demand and digital transformation. The company operates through 2 segments, federal solutions and critical infrastructure. All right, so a different sector, not overly familiar with it, but this breakout is a positive sign here. Whoa, okay. I mean, there's some good trading here for the better part of a year there. Whoa. You got there, my guy? Isn't it? What do you mean? I just said, whoa. It looks good. Pull it on the screen. Put it on there. It looks pretty good.
It's like random turkey. I don't know what this is.
What do we got going on here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, some turkey. Oh, the quinoa there and stuff
quinoa,
there. Yeah, there you go.
salad.
All right, so we're eating good, though. Put it back there one more time. Yeah, so this is how Katina Man's eating.
Yeah, but I don't know what that. Like, this is questionable here. I don't know.
Yeah, we're fired up. And did you warm it up, though, baby?
You okay?
Yeah, I hit you.
You're
You're the one holding the plate.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Are you okay? That's a savage answer. But yeah, I mean.
I was wondering if he's okay.
Yeah, he was okay. You're made of steel like that. Okay, Pug Life says sleep when you die. Okay, all right. I used to live, Pug Life, I used to live by that when I was in my earlier 20s.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now I'm a midday nap type of guy.
Yeah, I used to go with that because I remember one time, like, I think 50 Cent came in on an interview and he was like, "Sleep is for the broke."
Yeah.
And I was like, I adopted that model, and then I was like, that's not gonna work for trading at all.
It's not gonna work at all.
You need to be well rested. You need to be on the optimal amount of sleep. And Ramin's saying in my ear now that she sleeps when she's driving. I hope you have a Tesla or some sort of full self-drive.
Drives a monster truck.
Oh boy, yeah.
Grave digger.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if I want
yeah. If Ramin's on the road, just let me know.
Yeah.
I'll stay at home for a little.
The locker baby woman.
Yeah.
on the road is
And
not.
she's drifting. Watch out for your local cul-de-sac as well too. So she's out there drifting. So if you see anything along those lines, someone drifting, you're like, who is that? It's probably Ramin. So, but yeah, all right, guys. Like Palantir is still ripping here.
Man.
Really strong stuff here in the market. Let's see how much Palantir is up here on the day. It's another hot dog cannon. From Tina Man. Yeah, 4.3. Yeah, the markets are now officially liberated, Obi. 4.3% on the day. Palantir is up. Let's see what Amazon is up. Now considering it's hovering around that 195. There's those high levels of open interest at 197.5, I believe. So by the end of the week, with this catalyst, we can get there. There's no questioning that. So there we go. Only 2% on the day. But NVDA is really strong, and I'm glad that I got out of this. We're only going positive on the session, just under 1% on the day. But you can see this really strong bullish price action here in NVDA with a low of about 106.80, and now trading at 111.20s. So good, a good look there. But Palantir doesn't look like it wants to stop as it continues to climb higher and higher there.
Oh, 88.41 is currently trading at 88.40. Palantir continuing to push up. So shout out to Sean for that 85 bid, and that's coming in real hot. What, over 4 points? Now almost all, over 3 points in the money off of that 85 there. So good stuff on that. Market tailwind, definitely a strong factor for this market-wide bid, and some tickers pulling a little bit higher than others. TSM pretty strong as well. Looking at SMH, 215.01 is the current day highs on SMH. Nvidia as well. We got past that 110. We were talking about that 110 potentially being a level of interest on Nvidia. 110, well, we broke out of that. We hold, we consolidate, we break out of these highs at 110.50s. Current high now is 111.35. So now really extended off of, really starting to extend off of that VWAP there on the day is Nvidia. This is a 1 minute chart. Okay, I was like, why are there so many candles? It's normally I use a 3 minute chart to look at my charts and trade on, and of course I use 15, 30 minute hourlies, dailies, weeklies as well. A little bit of a multi-time frame approach is always a good thing in my opinion. Let's take a quick look at some of these tickers that I was looking at in the morning. You know, you guys know I like to go through kind of what I had on my morning trade plan and go through some of those tickers, and let's see how those tickers are doing as of right now. So I can pull this up right here. It's my morning trade plan. This was it right here. So 9:20. I did get in a little bit late. I didn't really sleep too well last night, and I'm like, okay, every day maybe I'm risking. I've been trying to risk down a little bit, so maybe only risking $100 at most on a given idea. I definitely did not follow that rule today, Joe. As
the sleep rule.
No, my daily risk rule. Way past that as of right now. But that's okay. We can talk about that. I will talk about that to myself a little bit later today. But Adobe, I was looking for a level hold. I observed that 375 was holding pretty well on Monday and Tuesday. I'm looking for that level to come in, and look at that higher low, higher low, higher low right off of the open. Boom, bid steps in. So that trade did come in. How much volume is it doing though? Not that much volume. So far it's done about 1 million, so I don't know how liquid that move was, but definitely was on the table. J&J continuation, so sold off pretty aggressively yesterday. You can see that VWAP continuation. I was looking for more of the same. That did not happen, so that did not work. We've been holding above VWAP since then on J&J. NCNO was in an earnings name that gapped down, so I was looking for that gap down continuation, and I saw it bid up off of the open, so I was like, all right, off my radar, because it is doing exactly the opposite of what I'm looking for. So next one was Court. Again, today was day 3 of that catalyst that it got. Again, I think it was an ovarian cancer drug. Bid up on the first day and sold off on day 2. Today coming in, I'm like still doing decent volume, very directional both ways, and look for the day 1 range break. So look at that. That actually came in right off the open. Day 1 range low is at 87.70. opens at 90s, breaks down and starts consolidating below that 87 mark. How much volume has it been doing on the day? 1.5. So yeah, that was definitely doable. That one did work out pretty well, and it goes from that 87 all the way down to a day low of 83.45. So definitely left that one on the table there. Let's take a quick look at CoreWeave as well. CoreWeave. So CoreWeave, pretty strong off of the open. Day 4 of this IPO, very strong into the close yesterday as well as it pushed past that $50 mark. And I was just looking for more of the same. I was looking for that continuation off of the open. It was doing this shake and bake, so I kind of looked away, but it did give us the move eventually and gave us those higher highs and higher lows for a push for some fresh highs at 64.61 on CoreWeave. NMAX was the next one here. NMAX right there. So let's see. I just wanted to keep eyes on because we did kind of have that bit of a pullback there going into the 8 p.m. close, and in the morning we were just consolidating underneath that 200. So we did get some continuation off of the open today on NMAX. So that swing short, if you got involved yesterday in the after hours, you had to wait after hours there for that one, coming in pretty nicely here on NMAX. Pfizer was the second last one I had eyes on. Continuation, looking for lower highs. Didn't do what I was looking for as it bid up. So that one was right away off of the table, but you can see how strong it was yesterday to the sell side as it traded lower and lower, pretty much closing at the day lows there on Pfizer. Walmart as well. Walmart continuation. This thing keeps bidding up pretty much every day. Now that I've mentioned it, it's probably not going to do it tomorrow. But day 1 right here, strong push. Day 2, breakout of its highs right there, holding a prior level. And look at that nice little level hold at that $89 mark yesterday. Opening range highs right at that 89. But when we do break, look at the trend, the momentum that comes in with expanding volume of that 89 break on Walmart. So you can see that TQs were nowhere on my morning plan, and I basically got really aggressive with TQs. So it goes to show once again that why don't you just make a plan and trade the plan? You know, you don't have to touch anything else. Even if it shows up, it's okay. I got to do better at just focusing on the trades, on the plans that are working. You can see I planned for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tickers, and only 2 out of those 8 actually showed up to work exactly as I was looking for, or not necessarily exactly, but it gave me good good price action. It was the kind of price action I was looking for to get involved with those tickers. So keeping an eye on those and having those 8 names, I do have them all on watch off of the open, just looking at them on an 8-panel view, being like, all right, I've gone through my morning plan a couple times. Let me hunt for what's actually doing what I'm looking for, and then I try to get myself involved in those tickers, and I think that it definitely increases the probability of doing well because I've already kind of thought through what I want to do with the ticker if it's doing what I'm seeing. So yeah, 2 out of 8. Definitely not everything is going to work exactly as planned. That's a great example of that. But maybe every now and then you get a little lucky and you get that 20%, you know,
Win rate accuracy.
not really win rate, but like 20% of your watch list actually comes
into play. I see what
right?
you're saying there. Sorry, I was looking at the chat. Yeah, I agree with you, Obi. And just to pull up my notes here, guys, I'll do that for you here really briefly. My game plans for today were well, the first rule was don't suck. That's a pretty good one, I think. There, right? that's probably the best rule you could just give yourself. But
first
yeah,
rule, get good.
Yeah, Tesla and IBIT. Those were my 2 plays on the day, and that's what I essentially traded, other than Nvidia and the TQs. But Tesla and IBIT were the number 2 there. But yeah, there you go. Number 1 best rule there is right there. Obi is just. Don't suck. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So there you go, guys. You're enjoying that one. But yeah, we're short some NVDA again. We'll be patient. I do like this topping signal here, guys. We are slightly extended, but it does look like some of these big names are just taking a breath. You're not really getting those sellers quite engaged just yet. Like Google's still hovering around those highs, as well as Amazon with that news catalyst coming out. You've seen the volume really step in on Amazon. When and then Adara came out with the news. We'll pull it up real quick. And this is what you want to look for, right? Breakout volume. You can see that the overall market was participating and trading higher, but Amazon was just hovering around in this consolidation zone, and you're like, what's going on? But then as soon as that catalyst dropped, you see us punch through some of these resistance zones, and most importantly, that volume steps in aggressively, and then that's when you can go from 192 all the way to a high of 196 there on AMZN. So there you go. If you are identifying support and resistance, is that a channel? In which case, isn't an iron condor a better trade up than put call? Oh, sorry, I don't really understand like what you're looking for. If you're what you're trying to explain to me. So what I can do is just give you a brief explanation on how I built this thesis here on Amazon a while ago. I know I've been talking about it quite a bit, but I'll try to help you out attempt here. So essentially what it is, right? Regardless of the vehicle that you're using, it doesn't matter about the percentage metric, right? Like, okay, you say you want to put a stop at 50% volatility, that's fine. But what if your 50% is mid-range? What happens with the stock? It's chopping around in this, and the chances of it coming back into that mean are significantly high. Right, so essentially what the thesis was standing, and what I'm applying to is support and resistance, is you want to be able to identify where the stock is holding up and put your stop, regardless of the vehicle that you're using, whether it's an options contract or common stock, is below those support zones and above those resistance zones, right? Just in case you get that liquidity grab. So what happened essentially is I'm in mid-range here on my first trade on those contracts, but I just placed an order below this area. It's the exact same thing regardless if I'm using shares or contracts. And then you calculate what that value is. If you have a good options platform, it will determine, hey, at 185, your loss is going to be X amount. Okay, we get stopped out. So what do? I see this next print the following day, and I do the exact same thing. Right? Okay, if it breaks through this low, then I'm going to get stopped out. I'm not going to use that 50% volatility gauge to be like, hey, I want to give it 50% of the volatility or IV, but that's going to put me right here, or it's going to put me in the middle of this range. No, use these support and resistance zones and then calculate your risk based off of that. And that's just how I do it. That's one way, and I'm not saying that my way is correct, but I think from what you're getting at is like, hey, you're using these, but you're getting stopped out and you're getting hit heavy on some of these contracts. And now what you're referring to is the iron condor. Yeah, that's a credit-based trade here. And how I would necessarily establish this trade here, guys, is that I would say, hey, I would build a thesis on my short put, and I said, I don't believe that my short put is going to go below 182, and I don't believe that my short call is going to go above 212. And then that's how you would establish your iron condor in between those ranges. But that's not necessarily what I'm doing when I'm buying specific contracts. All right. So yeah, let's see what Adara's up to, guys, and hopefully that answered your question and gave you a little bit more insight. But we're going to see what Adara's up to.
The show is brought to you by WorkSport, introducing a new discovery on the NASDAQ. WorkSport, ticker WKSP. WorkSport is a U.S.-based manufacturer that is rapidly expanding with growing revenues, government contracts, and innovative green energy products designed to power your life off-grid. So whether you're on the move or seeking sustainable energy solutions, WorkSport has you covered. Now trading on the NASDAQ under ticker WKSP, you can discover the future of clean energy with WorkSport. Back to you.
Yeah, guys, sorry for the position board. Yeah, they're just doing some maintenance on it and some upgrades. So they'll get that back up as soon as possible. None for those who are asking. And attempt, yeah, no problem anytime. But what do you got going on there, Obi?
Yeah, nothing much. Just watching this Tesla. Still kind of dabbling in the idea of that short there, as things look like they might be pulling back a little bit, but slowing down. We're still well within the trend to the upside. We've been holding that bid, and this could be pretty much grinding to the upside. So I'm just, like I said, I think I said yesterday, consolidations. I'm trying to observe consolidations a little bit more because I'm starting to find that the way a consolidation kind of occurs, when and where it occurs, can definitely be very telling for on a day for continuations, for failure to follow throughs, for a lot of different things. So I've been kind of watching consolidations a little bit more closely, especially here on Tesla. So I'm trying to learn a little bit more from that. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, just watching the tape here and watching this consolidate above that 280 mark here on Tesla. So we are accepting price a little bit higher technically as of right now, and you can see that futures as well. You can just draw draw a trend line here to define your trend on the futures, and you can clearly see that we are or have been pretty much in a very strong uptrend that's been accelerating to the upside here. Consolidations didn't really last very long, maybe about 30 minutes at most, and nothing really over an hour in terms of a consolidation here on either the NASDAQ or the ES. So some fresh highs coming in. Wow, TQ's all the way at 60. So the short definitely was not the right idea there. And I think Sean given the props as again you're still long that Palantir. TQ's 57.85. 57.81s. Wow, let's go. Yeah, 57.81. So on that pullback right there, Sean getting long right there. Yeah, you can see the position on more Trader TV Live. You can see Sean and Neil's positions right there. You can see Palantir from 85.75 and TQ's from 57.80s, and Neil is long DJT from 19. So let's take a look at what DJT is up to here. So DJD, a little bit of a, did they have news in the morning? It seems like there was a bit of a news pop that it got in the morning session with this 1018 candle here on the 3-minute, and kind of reverted chopping around VWAP as of right now. I know a lot of people had eyes on DJT, maybe a few more of the meme names as well, because of all of this craziness that might be going on in the small cap world. GME pretty much sideways, but nice little double bottom here. I'm seeing 22.26 is a bit of a double bottom there, and now we've been consolidating basically above this VWAP level here. Market's looking for another leg to the upside as both the futures take a little bit higher, printing fresh highs on the days. You can see that Nvidia is also showing you that strength. Amazon to the upside. Oh boy, 196.99, 197s almost. So we're coming into that 200 mark, Joe, on that Amazon. And yeah, some fresh highs. There is the fresh highs there on Apple. Apple was the one that was lagging behind a little bit there, not really making its fresh highs just yet, but we just got that push through on Apple. So finally, Apple catching up there to the rest of the market that had already pushed past its highs. But let's see how much higher Apple can get. This one's been a little bit muted, don't you think? A little bit more muted than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Apple has been a lot of other tickers giving us that strong volatility and momentum, and Apple's been a little bit lackluster relative to the other Mag 7s. But I think Apple's kind of shown us to do that kind of sort of thing over the past year or so. Didn't really get involved with AI as fast as everybody else. Still really hasn't as much. So maybe less speculative volume.
That two-tier rollout of AI, Apple Intelligence, did not work out very well. So let me see you dropping the ball on that one and doing some shuffling over there at the Cupertino headquarters there. So all right. NVDA continuing to squeeze, second attempt on that short. You can see, I just don't think this market is ready to turn around just yet, especially with that positive news. And you have the likes of the Mag 7 to continue to climb higher and higher. So there it is. That's that second attempt on NVDA. IBIT being the best trade of the day as it continues to climb higher and higher here, guys. Up about 2% now on the day. I wonder, what does that put us exactly at on the underlying asset itself, Bitcoin? The king of cryptos. Let's see what we're trading at. Are we around that? No, only 87,000. So again, still chopping in this range here. And I like how Sharif mentioned that is like, we're just trading within this about this 10K range. Sorry, that was a little bit dramatic. But yeah. So you can see around from 77.5 to about 87.5. We've been consistently just dragging around here. So let's see if we get that little bit of pop above this some of these resistance zones, and then we head into this prior support. And one thing to note is that we need volume and momentum in order for us to break through this previous level right here. You can see that's going to come in quite well on BTC, and in order for us to get through that, we're going to want to push, and we're going to want to see that incline here on the volume profile. So, I mean, good look here. Like, this is choppiness, and you can see all this volume. But as we start to go on the declines, a nice low YV is good, because then that means there's less fear in the market. So, JF Trader T, QQ is having a great day. Yeah, it's fantastic. Honestly, these moves in the markets is a good look come 4 o'clock. I got some more stuff here that we can go over to see, just from a nodes perspective. So I mentioned to you guys before that the average weighted tariff was about 2.7%, with a projected increase that will raise the average to about 10.9% if it's 25% around the board here. And with every 100 basis points increase in the weighted average price, it's roughly about 10 BPS of core inflation. So be weary of that. One thing what happened to Tesla?
Something's coming in.
Tesla?
Yeah. Tesla's dumping. Would you look at that? Oh my God.
Okay, yeah, it's coming in pretty nice here, guys. Pulling in, you can see the volume starting to pick up. Yeah, everybody's saying Tesla flush. It is starting to pull back here, so really good look. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some news on this. We'll wait and see. We'll hear from Madera if it's out there, but yeah, there you go. I mean, it's not that crazy. All right, it's about a 6-point drop there, though.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Here's
there.
the thing. I've been shorting. I'm like, I want to short all of these prices.
Yeah,
it's a little
good short,
fugazi. I don't know how that. Like, I need, yeah, a little bit of news coming in, selling price action coming in with that volume. So 280 broke back down. Nvidia taking a little bit of a pullback as well. Looking at the rest of them, let's see what Adara has with the news.
I do have some news coming through here, though. I'm not seeing anything Tesla specific as of yet, but apparently Ed Conway of Sky News has reported that Trump's reciprocal tariffs will be set in 3 bands. So there's going to be a 10% group, a 15% group, and a 20% group. Apparently, these tariffs are going to vary by country and by industry. This is, again, Ed Conway from Sky News, citing sources close to the White House. Apparently, though, it's still unclear if the EU's 20% VAT will be considered a trade barrier. So keep an eye on that. Also, now we have some comments here on Tesla from the White House. Apparently, Elon Musk will depart from public service when his work at Doge is complete. So basically, they are, sounds like, dismissing the report from Politico earlier today, suggesting that Elon Musk would be stepping back from his role as a special government employee. Now, the White House is saying that actually Elon's not going to leave until his work at Doge is complete. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Adara. So there you go. You got some more Elon news. So I think that's the best thing for Tesla and his businesses. So yeah. What do you got going on there, Obi?
Yeah, no, the Tesla, again, short, we were talking about this one there. I was like, all right, it's getting pretty close to my out. I was like, if this gets all the way up to 285s, then yeah, I definitely have to punch out of this one and try again. Initially got long. Again, I do want to reiterate, just trading in the sim today, trying to take those reps and trying to make good decisions, trying to make better decisions than I was in the morning session there. But yeah, Tesla short coming in pretty nicely now. I do have to do a little bit better with just being more patient. I was not as patient as I could have been here. I kind of shorted in and around here, and I continued to short as it broke the day high. Again, knowing that like I'm totally wrong above that 85. But okay, if you're wrong, if you know you're wrong above that 85, then just be patient for price to come in. Look at the 84s, maybe start dabbling in the 84s, and then when this bid starts to break down, that's where I can start to get aggressive, and I'll have better prices that way as well, and a more I guess conducive average to the move that I'm looking for. So we're coming back into that anchored VWAP that we had from the event, from the news coming out. So that selling bringing us reverting back to the mean, but all in one candle. So good luck trying to take a breakdown short on that one there. I think if you had orders in, maybe, yeah, you're getting 281s. But me building into the short, I took, I think my average is 280.52s. So yeah, I was holding 280.52s, about 3.5 points against, looking for a potential reversion to VWAP if this catalyst cracks through its anchored VWAP. And it seems to be coming in as of right now. Shout out to, I forget who it was in the chat, but they pointed out this new IPO. It's a REIT IPO that just happened. It came out, SMA, and it's doing some decent volume as well as of right now. So keeping eyes on that one. Wow, Tesla's really coming in. I don't know if I should be posted for a decent chunk, but you know what? I'm gonna try to keep my cool and just use effective rules for exiting the position, right? So, okay, so I'm just going to be continuing to watch the tape and maybe a little bit of the chart as well as this potentially comes back into that 280. That 280, again, we could consolidate here. We could chop, hold 280 and then continue back to the upside. I have no idea, but I was looking for the reversion to the mean and it just reverted to the mean as of right now, pulling back into that volume weighted average price from the event. So again, if I'm looking for more, I'm obviously asking for a lot more than what the market, I guess, gave me in a single candle. So whenever that happens, sometimes I kind of struggle with figuring out whether I should be taking a lot more off because it happened in a time frame that I was not expecting. Again, price action can come in all sorts of time frames. It can take, the same kind of move you're looking for can be elongated over a 2-3 day scale, or it can just come in intraday for in a single candle, right? Very possible, but yeah, bidding back up above that 280. So it seems like we are holding that. So again, I should be doing maybe a little bit less talking and more decision making here as that VWAP holds pretty nicely and we get that aggressive bid back up to those highs. So 280 is coming in, holding key on Tesla. Volatility definitely in this market with the news that Elon might be stepping off of Doge and maybe potentially diverting more of his focus to Tesla, right? So we got the strong bid off of that. This SMA, pretty strong push on that one there, 32.75. So it's done some decent volume so far, 1.72 million traded on the day. And I didn't really look at the S1 for this one, but thank you in the chat for pointing that one out. Didn't really have eyes on it, but it seems like it's doing some decent volume on the day. So just keeping eyes out for the next trade. Oh, wow, Tesla's coming right back, eh? Okay, all right. Well, I guess that was the trade. I got to do a little bit better to make faster decisions on that one. Market's continuing to bid back up. Let's see what Adair has to say.
I'm just reading a little bit more here about the situation with Elon Musk. So again, Politico, as far as I was seeing, initially reported earlier today that Elon Musk would be apparently stepping back from his government role, though he'd still be involved in the White House. Now, Caroline Leavitt of the White House is saying that the scoop, which she's saying is from Axios, is garbage, quote unquote garbage. I looked into this. Axios has not reported anything about this story as far as I can tell. So it seems like it was still a Politico report. But it is worth noting, apparently Elon Musk and Trump have both publicly stated that Elon Musk will depart from public service as a special government employee when his incredible work at Doge is complete. So the Trump administration not ready to let go of Elon Musk yet and denying these reports suggesting that that is in fact the case. Back to you.
So thank you for that update, Adara.
Yeah, exactly.
What you looking at?
Yeah, I'm just looking for these potential topping signals, and I don't think we're gonna get them just yet, right? We might have to be a little bit patient. It is the lunchtime hour, but those were those attempts on Nvidia and then on the TQ. So just sticking to the stop, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you for that reminder. There. Ramin, but yeah, there we go. Just why you just stick to the stop, right? I wouldn't want to be shorting all the way through here, and as the TQs start to squeeze, so that would not be that'd be a bad time, right? So again, you want to you want a pizza instead of French fry, as they say in South Park. So otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. All right, so just get out when the plan tells you to. So all right, guys, you know what time it is? Bear versus Bulls. You don't have to remind me today because Ramin reminded me. But it is time for the playmaker. What are we going today, guys? 1,400 votes, 59% to the long side, all the way up here. So we're very dovish here on the day, guys. So yeah, good luck here. Why can't I grab this? Here we go. So let's get right into this playmaker. Yeah, like wow, just yeah, look at this, man. Good stuff here, guys. Good stuff. Lots of data, countless data. You know what I'm going to do here, actually? So what I'll do is I'll calculate these wins and losses, and then we'll get a little accuracy gauge going on this as well, too. Here's the equity curve from that cumulative P&L. But yeah, 73 data points going on the day. All right, we're going long up here. This is probably not going to be a good one, guys. But who knows? Maybe we climb higher. I talked about the open interest at 110 on Nvidia, and I'm surprised that we are now north of that because we had about 23,000 contracts on the put side, and then a vast amount on the call side as well too. And now we've exceeded that. We're sitting above that. So we have we have traders trapped on the wrong side. We need to get that pinning type price action. So we'll watch out for that one. And then I also mentioned earlier this morning, 197.5 is going to be that first area of potential resistance in Amazon. But is this catalyst strong enough? All right. Now let's document this before it's too late. We're going 565.79. We're going long here. Ooh, that might be a tough one, but we'll take it. So 565.89, 560. Okay, we'll go to Dara. I'm going to document the stuff here, guys. 65.90.
Keep an eye here on the whole TikTok buying group here. So Amazon and Oracle and Meta. So Amazon here, according to the Trump administration, is definitely putting in a bid to buy TikTok. The Trump administration official has confirmed that Amazon has put in a bid to buy TikTok, as the New York Times reported earlier. ORCL, keep an eye on this one. Oracle was initially one of the top names in consideration to buy TikTok, or in talks anyway. Still pushing to the upside, though, in this report. META on watch as well. Meta, Snapchat, any of these social media names can sometimes move on talks of TikTok being bought, because if it is banned in the U.S., it does stand, people will likely turn to other social media apps like Meta's Instagram. So keep an eye on META, Amazon, and Oracle here. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Dara. Yeah, so we'll be keeping an eye on it. I like how she added the point as well, too, that could send a boost into some other social media platforms like Snapchat and Meta as well, too. So you got Instagram Reels and then you got Snapchat Reels as well. So there you go. It is the 2nd of April. All right, and we're going to go long up here, folks. I don't know about this one. We might be getting stopped out, but 73 complete data points. I know Obi likes this. I personally really enjoy doing this, so hopefully everybody's doing that. But I'm going to add the accuracy percentage somewhere along here, and I'm going to create another chart, and then we'll get that going. But as of right now, looking pretty good, still positive. Look at this equity curve here, Obi. Pretty good stuff here. I think a lot of traders would take this one, so yeah. There we go. Good stuff on the Playmaker poll. Let's see if this comes into play. We're looking for 567.79. That is going to be our home run target. If not, we get stopped at 564.79. All right. There, that is. Let's see what we got cooking up here, guys. I don't think anything's ready to come back in. Wow, Amazon absolutely continuing to keep that forward momentum going here, guys. Now as high as 198. 198. So good look on Amazon. Beautiful bottoming signal here, guys, and that's why we base these trades. Gorev, Los Polios, all my VPA traders out there. This is what we're looking for. I've seen it happen in Amazon before, and then we take advantage of it once again there, Obi.
Nice. The good stuff there on Amazon. We are kind of looking a little bit different now here on Tesla, consolidating sideways as the market pushes a little bit higher. So 19.8, we passed that 19.850s incoming. We were looking at that 19.750, and oh boy, what a bid up we've had. We started off at the lows, at the day lows, in and around just above 19.3s, and then now over 500 points almost of a push into that 19.850 mark there. As of right now. So let's see if we can push a little bit higher there as we get closer and closer to that, back to that 20,000 mark. That's what we were talking about, right, Joe? A little bit earlier, but Tesla kind of slowing down, consolidative sideways there. So let's take a quick look at what else is moving around as of right now. Let me know, do you guys do intraday scans? Because I don't think I have it set up on this one. Let's take a quick look at that one. Thank you. So you know what? Let's make a scan. Let's make an intraday scan. How about that? So we got top screeners. We got this overview. We can just overview is fine. So let's go to filters. So we'll reset the filters and let's figure out what kind of tickers we're looking for in the intraday. So we know a lot of tickers are bidding up as of right now, right? So let's see, symbol type, that's fine, doesn't really matter. You know what, first of all, let's look for the first thing. Let's look for relative volume, right? Let's look for relative volume. We want that to be above, let's say above 3. We want over 3 times relative volume, right? And let's say it's about the middle of the day. So let's go to volume, volume times price. So I want something that's done, that's traded maybe, let's say about $50 million worth of volume. So that's there as well. So how many do we got? We got one match. What? That's an intraday. Do we got to turn that down a little bit? All right, let's take that down to 10 million there. Okay, so that's giving us some more volume, some more tickers. Sorry. So let's take it down to 5. So we have a little bit more there. So we got 2. We got relative volume. We got dollar price as well. Yeah, sure. Let's take a quick look at these. So we're looking at what has done the most relative volume on the day, and what's also traded above 5 million notional as well. So in the overview, we can go down into in terms of columns. How do I change the columns here again? I'm pretty sure it should be in here in the overview. Columns, safe columns, trend following. It's not really giving me the option to sort by relative volume, because usually what I'll do is I'll put up a relative volume column and then sort by that. But that's okay. Let's just go by, we can go by change. We're gonna go by volume traded. How about that? So volume traded 20 million CQLU. So let's see how good this scanner is for the intraday and go through some of these tickers here. So we'll go to a 3-minute chart and just run through some of these as of right now. So CTS, not really doing anything too crazy. It's a low price ticker, so nothing too crazy coming up on this scanner. So I don't know how good this scanner is on the intraday. I know that TradingView's changing up their scanners as well as of recent. So this one might be a little bit out of service. But you know what? Let's try to change it. Let's see if they have any intraday filters. Current trading day. Okay, here we go. Current trading day. There we go. So do we have 6 matches on that one? So nothing. So it's not really picking up on anything here. So this scanner, maybe not the best for intraday scans. So try to do that one. We can just go back to the volume leaders here and take a look. It's the same kind of names we've been looking at: Lucid, Tesla, Nvidia, Ford as well. Ford's been on this list quite often as of late, as it kind of tries to bid back up above that $10 mark. You can see what it's been doing over the past couple of weeks, just kind of consolidating in that $9 level, and we got past that 10. Now we're trying to hold higher highs and higher lows back into this level, but beaten down pretty aggressively is this chart. You look at it on the weekly here, Joe, you can see that we've been pretty much selling off lower lows and lower highs all the way since 1999, when this stock was pretty much at its all-time highs, even adjusted. I guess no, adjusted, we did hit that all-time high, so I do stand corrected. So the adjusted chart, we did hit all-time highs in January of 2022 on Ford, and then pulling back in to that $10 mark. So yeah, a little bit of consolidation. Looks like there's a hold here at that 870 mark. $8, you can see low, 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 and a little bit of range highs as well coming in. So maybe some resistance 13.5s, maybe some support at 880s. I'm just going to throw it on alert there at the 880s. That seems like a decent place to maybe make a decision on Ford, and up here as well 1380s. But that's a decent one, something that stands out there on the weekly. Palantir still at the highs. Oh boy, that one. Look at this one on the weekly, man. Absolutely crazy runner there. It kind of reminds me of ANF. Remember that run that ANF was going on? Oh boy, look at that right here. All of 2023, I was looking at this chart almost every day and being like, wow, this thing just runs day after day. $20, $30, all the way up to $200. 196.99 is the high. But take a look at that, kind of breaking back down off of its trend. And yeah, I had some anchors up there as well. So once that trend support kind of breaks, you start taking out horizontal supports, boom, ANF to the downside. So giving back a decent chunk of the gains that it had in 2023, 2024 as well. But we've given back all of 2024, and we're back into some of those 2023 prices. But what an absolutely wild ride this one was on Abercrombie & Fitch. But yeah, you ever get involved with some of these tickers like the retail? Like,
no.
You know, I know people are not looking at ANF as much. A lot of people just look mainly at the Mag 7s, even for like options.
Stuff like that. No, like car companies and like retail spaces. Yeah, no thanks. I want essentially no part of that. I think like with clothing, it's too much of a hit and miss, right? One thing, like one year something's in like hot, then the next year it's not. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just a space I personally don't like, whether it's the likes of Abercrombie and Finch or Nike or anything like that. It's like, or look at Ford. It's essentially been dead money for almost 30 years. So. I don't want to partake in any of those things. Like I like emerging stocks. Again, I told you I bought some Hood, looking to acquire some more there. Amazon's like fintech and the tech sector, right? Because I think that's what drives the markets forward and is technology. But that's for the retail and car space. I don't really want to partake in any of that stuff. Did you ever buy any of those?
No, not Abercrombie and Fitch, but
like Nike or anything like that.
No, I have. Let's see, what do I have? If I can remember off the top, I have a lot of Bombardier.
Okay.
So that one's a good one, Canadian company as well. I have Apple. Okay. Apple's a decent chunk, and I think I have a. I don't know what sector. It's an industrial ticker. I have some of that as well. Green for life.
You have GFL?
Yeah, so I have some of the GFL as well. So not necessarily anything that's how would you say, common or like normal. It's not really popular. But definitely
still like low key good companies.
I think so. I think they've been working out pretty well. I don't really
I think
believe in diversification because it's just like Warren Buffett said, like if you
is horrible.
You know what Warren Buffett says about diversifying, right? Diversification and stuff. He said if you know what you're doing, it makes a little sense to diversify. And it's like if you have playbook setups for swing trades and long-term setups, then it doesn't really make sense to try to be in all of everything. It's like, okay, we can.
May as well just go hard on one thing.
Get a few things, get a few good names that I think are undervalued, and then kind of build on those. And those tickers have been working pretty well. I'd say again, Apple's one of them as well, right? You can see Apple. I do have something that does relate a little bit to the rest of the market. But
for me, like I could care less about value stocks. It's just like show me consistent growth and then like you're profitable, good earnings, right? Like so, I like the likes of Hood. It's just consistent growth. Each quarter, it's like a beat and raise. Uses across whatever platform it may be could steadily increase. That's just what I'm looking for. I like from a Canadian standpoint, Enbridge would probably be one of my bigger picks on that front. Let's see what Adair's up to here, guys.
AMZN dropping a little bit, but on watch here after the company announced that it's going to look for April 9th to be the date for the launch of its first 27 Kuiper satellites for its broadband internet network. They specifically say that this network is going to rival Starlink. So keep an eye on TSLA as well. Of course, Starlink and SpaceX, both managed by Tesla CEO Elon Musk. So Amazon again announcing April 9th as the target date for the launch of its first 27 satellites. Now here, also maybe the reason for this Amazon drop, I'm just seeing this now, Charles Gasparino of Fox Business saying that according to sources he's heard from the White House, there's about a 0 chance for this Amazon TikTok deal. So now apparently just within the same day that we've heard Amazon bidding for TikTok and had the confirmation from the White House that Amazon has made this bid for TikTok, Charles Gasparino saying that the chances of this deal going through are, quote, next to 0. Back to you.
All right. There it is.
So does that mean the reason why we were bidding is now kind of being put into question? Maybe.
See?
We shall see.
Yeah.
On that one. But maybe a little bit of a pullback here. I am a little. I'm watching. I'm a little intrigued by what Amazon might do on that action. We've been trending pretty nicely for the past few hours. Again, we got that strong bid, pretty much market wide. They're coming in around 1150 and giving us that. The intraday news on Amazon coming in at that 1150 and giving us that strong bid there as well. So throwing up an anchored on that move, you can see that price is sitting all the way down here at 195.60s. as well on Amazon. Let's say if we take a little bit of a pullback, we're also kind of breaking a bit of trend that we've been holding. I don't have moving averages on this one, but it seems like it was a nice little curl to the upside here. We can throw up a trend line to give us a general idea of that uptrend that we are attempting to test as of right now. If you take it to the wick lows here, you can be like, all right, trend doesn't break till down here, and that's acceptable. If you're taking it to VWAP, you can be like, trend doesn't break till down here, and that's also very acceptable. It really depends on how you're defining the trend and how you're basing your rules based off of your definition of the trend. That's what matters a little bit more there. But yeah, Amazon, a little bit of a pullback. 198.34 is its current day high. Again, I want to see if that 200 support becomes into resistance, as it has been showing us since we did tick back below that level. But this market is pretty overextended, man. I don't think I've gotten my 1 ATR alert on the spider just yet, but it's definitely getting pretty close to that point if I haven't gotten it. I think I'd have to check back on my desk. I'm pretty sure I've gotten it sometime in the past couple of hours there. SPY moving a potential ATR from its open. But what can I say? These markets are definitely getting a little liberated.
Yeah, it's Liberation Day.
It's Liberation Day for sure.
Liberation Day.
There you go. The bid is definitely coming pretty strong here.
Most definitely there. I didn't mean to do that. I doubled my position right there. So yeah, didn't want to do that, but that's okay. We'll see. We'll take one more stab at the TQs here, guys. Nice topping signal. We like that. Let's see if we can get somewhat of a breakdown. But that zero chance is crazy, SPF. I mean, you got to take a consideration from that one scene from Dumber and Dumber when it's like it's about 1 in a million, but you're still telling me there's a chance. So,
so there's a chance.
Yeah, so you're telling me there's a chance. So we'll be patient on that one. Let's see if we can get any form of breakdown here in the market. We've just been blowing through some of these short signals, and now that the fact that it's like, hey, that TikTok or Amazon buying TikTok might not come into play. Let's see if we can get a pullback here to VWAP. That would be really nice if we got to move back to the volume weighted average price here in the TQs, Obi. So we'll be patient and see what we can get going on with that here. So hopefully we can break down a little bit, just being a little bit more steady and patient. What's with the, yeah, I know. I'm not going to hold on to that for all the way up there. We'll look for the move back to revert to the mean. So we'll be slightly more patient to see what's going on. And it looks like the SPY and everything is starting to pull back. I don't think we're going to get that like capitulation type price action because of how strong the day has been. So again, you just got to wait and see what the market gives you. But you can just see the strength on the time of sales as well too here, guys. You're not getting those participants on the bid, even though it does look relatively balanced here on the level 2. But you can just see the strength displayed in the time and sales. So yeah, that's one thing you want to keep an eye on at specific areas. You don't always want to hyper focus on it. You can see these sizes are relatively small, but then there you go. You just get that flush of strength continuously. So for me, that signals a really strong market. So we'll be patient and see if we can get any form of breakdown here, Obi, on the TQs.
Yeah, I think it's very telling, like how some of these tickers are getting sold off and then just being bought right back up as well. So again, I just got eyes on Mag 7, but something something that's just popped into my head was I should probably take a look at the map. I'm the map on Finviz, the stock map right here. So to see what the sectors are doing. So let's explore some of these maps as this market continues to bid to the upside. Yeah, lots of green as expected, but what is distinctly different is my question as of right now. So beverages, consumer defensives, some of consumer defensives down on the day. You got PG down 1%, Coke and Pepsi as well. Tobacco, okay, Philip Morris down as well, almost 1.7%. Okay, I want to take a look at that one there. Well, let's see what Philip Morris is up to. I'll take a look at it with you guys here. Wow, yeah, distinctly different. Look at that, getting sold off on the day. Here is Philip Morris holding that VWAP as well on its way down. Let's take a look at TMUS as well. Communications, eh? All right, so telecom services on the downside here, and TMUS 270 reject right here in the pre-market, kind of coming in, that selling coming in, distinctly different than the rest of the market. What do you got going on, Joe?
Yeah, all right, guys, it's time for an ad read. ProfitX in sports playing, flexibility is everything. At ProfitX, you can see the order book just like a financial exchange. Pick your spot and customize the odds to fit your risk. That would be nice. Why settle for a single offered price when you can set your own? Plus, our mobile interface makes it easy to play on the go. ProfitX, where you call the shots anytime, anywhere. Users can use code TraderTV to get our sign-up offer of 2% cash back of up to $300 there, guys. So there you go, 2% cash back on up to $300. There you go, ProfitX. You know, Katina Man and Neil were placing some bets on that one, so good luck there. Pizza Rat, let's see what everybody's up to here in the chat. 5 minutes could see more downtrend, but could flush on short soon. MACD is talking, says Pizza Rat. Okay, we like that. Again, Pizza Rat on IBIT, by the way. Yeah, we're still hovering around those highs. Hopefully you're locking in some profits on those contracts there. Brother Farhan, and then Joseph, would you guys be able to take a look at Wolf if you have a sec? Man, when you ask so politely, absolutely. There's no chance. Timeout. No, in all seriousness there, absolutely. We'll take a look at Petco Health. I guess I should start to invest in this one here shortly too. Because of the old dog. But again, if you want to look at it from a liquidity standpoint, Raptor, aka Raptor.
Hey, Raptor.
Yeah, Toronto Raptors, right? Again, from a liquidity standpoint, you can see that we're having issues on that front. Let's take a look and zoom out from what we got going on from a daily perspective. But I mean, you can't really complain hovering around the volume weighted average price. Nice strong opening drives, volume supporting that. But a nice breakout here. Who's the individual who asked us? Farhan. Really nice breakout. And one thing that we can confirm here is that the volume is supporting that breakout right here. So that's a positive sign. And then you can get that continuation to the top side. So from a long-term investment standpoint, I don't think I would be involved in this name. But just going back to what Obi and I are referring to is like I stick to a certain basket of stocks. I want to see some consistent growth. I don't really care necessarily about value or anything along those lines. And if I were to pull this back, it's not looking good here in Wolf. Down to 338 from what was our high here. The IPO on the 21st, so $31. That's a hefty haircut. It's a 90% drop in this underlying asset. So not something I'd be looking at for the long term. And why you're trading this, I'm curious to know. Did you hear something from a catalyst standpoint, etc.? Just put it in the chat and I'll be sure to read over it. But just again, good breakout, positive news. Let's see how far this can go, but make sure you just have a trade plan implemented, all right? Kosick F, what am I waiting for, my friend? Let me know. And I'm interested to see if there's anything you got. Ford Raptor, because he's Canadian, so Toronto Raptor is kind of what I'll call him, because hopefully he's a tamed little guy and isn't skirting around all over the place and making causing too much trouble. But he'll be well trained, because I know how to. Do you have any pets, Obi?
Yeah, I got 2 cats.
Oh, you got 2 cats?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Damn. Nina and Anna.
No way. You blanked on them.
Yeah, no, I looked over and then I saw 282 halves on Tesla, and I was like,
so you're just thinking about.
And then I was like, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, no.
That's more. Obviously, the market is
cats,
significantly more important than remembering the name of our our pets. So there we go. But see, here the issue is you got 3 Raptors. Nice there. Jet 10. But here we go. This is what I'm referring to. On these pullbacks, we just want to look at the volume by time profile, and we're just not selling off. You get all these micro pullbacks in the name, and then we just bid right back up. Are we going to continue to squeeze higher? I don't know. We have some strong catalysts. You've seen what it did to Amazon. We're now above some key levels on the options chain in Nvidia, and Google is continuing to climb higher as well too. So I think you're gonna have to be patient and just see and just kind of give what take what the market is giving you essentially. But let's take a look at Apple. What's Softy been up to today, Obi? I know we don't really talk about it too much, but a nice strong day from Microsoft here, guys, continuing to climb higher as long as. alongside the Meg 7 there, my friend.
Yeah, no, Softy definitely one that I've been watching over the past couple of days. We talked about it yesterday as well. I was like, oh, prior day on, was it Monday, I think it was? So yeah, Monday comes in with a pretty aggressive buy and balance along with Apple as well. Coming in the next day off of the open, both of them continue to bid up. Coming in today as well, off the open, both of them continue to bid up along with the rest of the market. So yeah, kind of got me thinking, being like, all right, well, this bid coming in pretty much every day of the week. Right off of the open, let's see what the rest of the week, are we finally going to get a week full of bidding? So far, yes. We have been, but let's see what Trump has to say at the end of the day today. Again, it seems like very you know, it's very up in the air. He could say one thing one day and another thing the next, and the markets could just dance around and kind of chop, consolidate, and do whatever. And that's why, honestly, like I'm going to go back to what I was talking about yesterday. Honestly, at the end of the day, I do think that price action is king. Even if if you lock me up in a room, I have no access to news. I just have I can see the chart, I can see the volume, I can see the tape and the price action and the book. Like, I should be able to make good decisions regardless of what happens in the outside world. And sure, having in those stops for those outlier events when things go crazy, obviously going to help you out on that. So at the end of the day, yes, is it gonna move the markets? Yeah, probably, maybe. I have no idea. But do I have a set structure to react and capitalize on moves if they do happen in a way that align with my playbook? That's the question that really matters, right? So we'll see. Bids definitely coming in. A lot of people calling bottoms earlier on in the week as well, and a little bit of last week as well. So it seems like that is definitely coming into fruition. Tesla almost back to day highs here on the day. And so somebody pointed out in the chat, they said, why don't you look at Chewy as well if you're going to take a look at Wolf? And I pulled up Chewy as well. Chewy's doing pretty well on the day right now, bidding up, printing fresh highs pretty much at the high a day right now, 33.87, low a day at 32.70, so up nicely on the day, a bit of a push off of the lows, currently about 3.5% off of its day low, which happened right off of the opening, right off the open. Opening range low is the day low. Interestingly enough, we grabbed prior day's consolidation lows, kind of that double bottom low as well. So nice little continuation here. It's interesting to observe that a lot of these price action kind of things, they happen regardless of, well, sometimes they're like volume based, but like whether it has significant volume or maybe it's just doing average volume, a lot of these technical trades I'm finding do tend to show up pretty nicely.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think a lot of traders will tell you that price is king. And I think that's why somewhere along the journey, it's like you start off with like multiple indicators, and then eventually you just start to weave them out because you're like, okay, it's essentially lagging the data, but this is what you have right in front of you. I love it when I point at the screen like you guys can see. But again, like I have the volume weighted average price on my chart. I don't have any moving average. That's just my personal preference. Like I could tell you where the 9 is going right now without even, like here, I'll just draw it here. And if you guys can confirm on your chart, like this is the 9, this would be the 20, and you get the 50 down here, etc. So again, yeah, just a lot of a personal preference. I know going to the money show, etc. A lot of traders are like, yeah, you just got to look at the chart at the end of the day to see what it's telling you because they're all derived from what price action has.
Oh, I read something so beautiful yesterday, just based off of this topic. Let me you know what? Let me pull it up, so I don't like botch the words. But you know what? I'm just gonna go back and I have it on my app here. I usually like to read on the subway, coming in and going out as well. But it was basically along the lines of it takes forever for us to, like, the learning curve is pretty aggressive, but it takes a lot of time to learn that trading the markets is not easy, but the methods and the procedures are pretty simple. Right, and it takes a lot of experience to kind of come to that realization here. Okay, right here. So this book. Shout out to Jose in the back. Way of the Turtle is the name of the book here by Curtis Faith. So this here. So they did not realize that although trading is simple for the reasons I outlined in the earlier part of the book, it is not easy. It takes a lot of time and study before one realizes just how simple trading is, but it takes many years of failure before most traders come to grips with how hard it can be to keep things simple and not lose sight of the basics. So that really was kind of eye-opening to me, where I'm like, yeah, like I've gone through so many things. I've gone through all these books and all these courses and all of this. And at the end of the day, some of the trades I'm taking have very simple, structured rules.
Yep.
Right? The idea and the formulation of the thesis is maybe thanks to talking to other traders and reading those books and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the execution can be really straightforward and simple. Let's see what Adara has to say.
Keep an eye here on TSLA in the latest installment of Is Elon Musk Leaving the Trump administration? Now we have CNBC reporting that apparently Donald Trump has already told his cabinet that Elon Musk will leave the administration in the coming months. It's unclear if this is them rehashing the previous report from Politico. The wording is almost identical, but nonetheless, keep an eye on TSLA. These headlines can move the market. Again, I have yet to see if this is a new report or if it's the repeat of this Politico report earlier, but to repeat, basically, we had Politico reporting that Elon Musk was going to be stepping back from his role in the Trump administration, though he would still be a very visible presence in the White House. Then we had another comment coming through from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt saying that report is, quote, garbage, though she actually miscited the source, saying it was Axios when it was actually Politico. Now CNBC seemingly reporting that Trump did tell the cabinet that Elon Musk will be leaving the administration. So keep an eye on this story. It is ever evolving, and we will send you back to the guys.
Thank you very much. That reversion on Amazon's coming in pretty nice there as well. We were looking at it a little bit earlier. That is where the selling kind of started to pick up pace. And it seems like we are slowing down a little bit here. This second 15-minute red candle here as of right now. Okay, that ticker is halted. 11 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to print. 196 halves here on Amazon. So not really getting involved in that one, as I have a little bit of a short here on Tesla. But Amazon seems like it was a better candidate for a little bit of a pullback. Again, catalyst driven near some of those highs. That TikTok news coming in being like, okay, well, maybe it's unlikely to happen. And we've been kind of, we've switched hands in terms of who's in charge since that kind of came in. But let's see if buyers do step back in. Bigger picture, buyers are still in charge on this chart. You can see higher highs, higher lows, even though we've been selling off for the past few, like 30 minutes or so. Buyers still technically in charge. And let's see if they step in at a higher level. You can see it can step in, pulls back, step in a little bit higher, step in a little bit higher. Let's see if they step in a little bit higher here. 196 is here, and I'm seeing Adara sing for the news. Yeah. Let's see what's
this better be good, Adara.
Oh boy!
Oh my God!
Oh, don't worry, it's a good one. I apologize for the cost interruptions. We have AAPL, which, just to clarify, opened the day around 270, tapping the $300 level. CNBC reporting that, guess what? AAPL is now also a potential bidder from TikTok. So just to repeat, Amazon has also been thrown around today as a potential TikTok bidder, but now CNBC, citing unnamed sources, is reporting that AAPL is also a bidder for TikTok. The stock is moving. I do apologize for the interruptions, but I suspect there will be more on this very news-heavy day. Back to you.
No, definitely don't apologize. Just because you were excited about that one, you're like, oh, because I know AAPL is the one that you like trading. So I'm like, all right, this better be a good one. So yeah, no, keep coming with that news. Much appreciated. Fantastic job Adara is doing most definitely on the Amazon call today as well. Came to you with that very, very quick, especially when it broke out. A matter of moments later, Adara came out with that news that Amazon was putting in a bid on TikTok. So, all right, guys, let me know when we are good to go there, Ramin, and then we'll fire up that. But you guys can't see the position board right now. We'll take a look at the trades briefly. All right, guys, new traders, listen up. First month, free. That's right, we're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description. So there you go. And yeah, Derek catching a lot of love in the chat there, doing a fantastic job as always. So we'll hit the bang and some Law and Order for Derek. But yeah, some of these big names starting to pull back in. If we can pull up my chart here one more time, that'd be fantastic. So we're short right here, guys, right at 61s, I guess we'll call it, as we continue to bleed. But I doubled up the position, but let's see if we can get this move back into this 60 level, and then I'll look to take some off there, Obi.
Yeah, so that's selling coming right in here. So about 7.5 minutes left now for this 15-minute candle. So we're printing. This is the first time in the day, Joe, that we're printing a second red candle on the 15-minute chart. So some selling coming in consistently here. And when I say that, I mean for the NASDAQ, not necessarily for the ES. The ES we did have a little bit of a pullback for about 30 minutes there for two 15-minute candles off of the 5,700 there. But yeah, some strong selling coming in. So we pretty much bid up for majority of the day, and with only about roughly 2.5 hours, just under left in the trading day, we're finally catching a little bit of selling. Let's see, is this the top for the day? Is the NASDAQ going to hold highs on the day at 19,900, just 100 points shy of that 20,000 mark? I got no idea. Tesla, a little bit of a held offer here at that 284 there. Let's see if that one can potentially bring us in. Amazon's already kind of started to sell off. We were just talking about that. Now with AAPL coming in with a little bit of a bid, does that mean that's more reason to give back more of the move that Amazon had off of the news of the TikTok bid that got us that bid off of 192? Maybe, perhaps. We're seeing that on the tape, but let's see if that continues. That could just be alongside with the market, but a competitor in the midst there for that TikTok bid, AAPL and Amazon potentially kind of on that. But interestingly enough, I forget who it was, but Buddy came out and said that Amazon's not really going to get that.
Zero chance. Yeah, that's funny.
Him saying, and you know what coincides with a little bit of price action as well. If you look at Amazon on a 15-minute chart, take a look at this. Would you look at that right here? Absolutely beautiful. Take off some of these indicators. Take off that VWAP.
There you go.
Can see. Boom, boom, boom.
Man.
Strong trend. This is the first time the trend kind of breaks and selling is coming in. So let's see if we make a continuation down into VWAP all the way down to 194s there on Amazon, currently trading 196 halves. And then, yeah, ultimate risk up to 198s. But again, that's a little bit, and if you measure that, that's just slightly above a 1-to-1. I don't really like measuring my trades like this, but you know, if you want to put an RR on it, you can see that again, you can, okay, let me pull this in a little bit so we see the quantity. So it's a 1-to-1. Risk to reward ratio 1.1. But in this moment, you got to ask yourself the question: does the probability of this trade give you a positive expected value to take it back into VWAP, and that would make it worth taking the trade, right? So that's a question you got to be able to answer. And right now, I am not going to answer that here. But yeah, 198.34s as of right now is the highs on Amazon. Let's see if we continue to tick back up. Again, only about 2 hours and 20 minutes left in the trading day, and we're pretty much trending up for the majority of the day today. So is this going to be one of those days where we just trend up into the close? Pretty much almost every day we've been getting a pretty strong close, if not an open. And today we've already got a pretty strong open. So let's see if we're poised for a close as well. But Day Trader Cut saying you watch Lance. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he has that new course that's like absolutely free, and I've gone through it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good for I guess it would be pretty good if you're starting off, or even if you have a few years of experience there on that one. So shout out to him for putting that out there. But yeah, no, Amazon. More selling coming in. I'm just waiting for this candle to finish printing. About 4 minutes left there on that. 282s coming back in. So we are pulling back off of those highs. And with the 15-minute candle about to close, and the second red candle on the 15-minute chart on these futures here, the question becomes, do we now finally make it back down to VWAP Are the buyers finally a little exhausted here? I didn't really see an exhaustion coming in from the buyers, but let's see. I'm looking for those sellers to potentially step in and take us for a reversion to the mean, which is all the way down near VWAP. I don't know if we're going to get all the way down there. If buyers are hella strong on the day, which they have shown themselves to be, we could very easily make a higher low and just hold above some prior, find some prior structure and hold above that as well. So yeah, eyes on some of those levels as well. I got my main watch Tesla here right now, as well as the TQs. So what do you got? What do you got on watch?
Yeah, I'm just still sitting here in on this TQ short here. We are in up here. Again, this would be our third attempt, so still got some room at the plate, but we're starting to get that move back down. So yeah, not looking too bad. Are we going to get into 60s? I think this is going to be a key candle in order for us to break through. You can see that we're running into some support levels, and we're consistently rejecting that. So if we get anything below that, I'll take a little bit more off here. And I like what Obi's saying. If we get that move all the way back to VWAP, you see with the likes of Google heading lower. Okay, so there we go. We take another little punch down lower there, Obi, to 60-17s. Let's see if that can be sustained. It looks like Google wants to head a little head south here. So yeah, that's a positive sign for the shorts. Let's see what Microsoft is up to. If Microsoft decides that it wants to sell off a little bit, yeah, you can see it's starting to pull in towards VWAP. I'm surprised that Amazon's still holding up relatively tough, considering Adair said that guy, there's a 0 chance that Amazon's going to be able to acquire TikTok. But yeah, we'll be patient. We'll take a little bit off here on a new lower low. That's a positive sign. There we go. And just another couple percentage points there. Still holding on to about 60% of the position. Going to hold on to it about 59.80s, and then we'll start taking out a little bit more than that. But yeah, Havana Woody, appreciate you, my guy. And always the DMs, just saying, like, for me, and obviously I do this at times, I know how important the time of sales is, and sometimes I sway from it and just focus on the PA, but it's like, what is the tape telling you? The tape does not lie whatsoever. If it's strong, you'll notice that it's strong, etc. It won't fake you out. It won't do anything along those lines. You can identify what exact transactions are happening at that exact time, and I think that's a skill that took me a long time to acquire, and what I did is I continuously went back. I had a platform where it allowed me to watch the tape for every session, and then I had my strategy, the VWAP breakup, and then when I was successful, I would go back and I would watch exactly what happened on the tape. I wouldn't even look at the PA. I would look at the tape, and then that helped me identify what exactly I was looking for on the time and sales. But let's see what Adair is up to, guys.
Yeah, keep an eye here on the market. AppLovin actually dropping a little bit here. It did pop on a reported bid for TikTok, as reported by CNBC, but I just wanted to go over really quickly everything we've had with Tesla in the last 3 hours. We're not talking deliveries. We're talking about this massive push to the upside and then the resulting dip, though. We're back near basically day's highs. I just posted this on X, TTV Research. You can check that out on X, but just a rundown here of what happened. So basically, Elon Musk, in his role at Doge, was classified as special government employee, or an SGE. That means he's only able to work up to 130 days a year, though his term can actually last any number of years. It was initially set to end in 2026. Then we had Politico reporting that actually Donald Trump has told his inner circle that Elon Musk will be stepping back at the White House, specifically from his role as a special government employee, though he will be still serving as an advisor, and you're still expected to see his face around the White House. But then we had White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt denying the story on X. She called it garbage, and she said that Elon Musk will remain with the administration until his work with Doge is complete. So that is the quick rundown of the TSLA ups and downs, just for those who missed it, who are just coming in here after lunch. Basically, we don't have any clarity here. CNBC just had a headline seemingly repeating the Politico story, but it's unclear if they're still reporting that Elon Musk is stepping down. So keep an eye on TSLA. Lots of volatility today, and just a quick rundown for those who missed any of those many headlines. Back to you.
Thank you for that there, Adair. Yeah, I just took off half of what I had remaining, so we're sitting on about 30% of the position left here, Obi, on that short on the TQs.
Yeah, no, this is coming in, maybe potentially coming in for a third bar down here on the NASDAQ and the ES, third 15-minute bar. Let's see, we couldn't really get above 19,800. We're pulling back into 19,750, which was a bit of an interesting level. And then that prior structure sitting at that 19.7 mark here. So we're pulling right back into it. Like, can we get a little bit lower, 50 points lower? This market does seem to be giving signs of a bit of a turn. Again, spider reversion, softy reversion, and Amazon taking a little bit of a reversion, Alphabet as well, Nvidia as well. So giving up a little bit of that bid, breaking some of those trends, the trend is slowing down, if anything. The question just becomes, if we're going to see a continuation of the trend, I'm asking myself, where could that potentially be? Is this one of those days we give it all up and V-shaped recovery all the way to the bottom? I don't know, man. It's almost 2 o'clock. It's 1:46 right now. I don't know if that's going to happen in 2 30-minute candles. It can happen. It's probably going to be catalyst driven if it does. But a little bit of a pullback here coming in pretty nicely. I'm looking for the reversion to the mean, Joe, and it seems like we are definitely reverting a little bit here. So I see that you are short the TQs. Nice short there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, Obi. So
you have your yellows as a short?
Yeah.
Okay, true.
I'm a simplistic guy, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Short.
It's all the one color for selling, one color for buying.
That's it.
Nice.
That's it. That's just how I roll. It's not hard to please me at all. So yeah, that's it. We'll hold on to this, guys. I told you we only have about 30% left of the position, so we'll be patient. See if we get a little bit of a squeeze here or run into. I think on the Qs, this might be an area of interest that we might need to watch out for. That's a 475.31. That can be that next level of support, but just continuously watch out. You can see there's still some buying pressure here. Sellers push the price down, but then each individual 5-minute print here is established and printed with some buying pressure there. So be wary of that and just watch out for what potentially may come. I'm not going to say that we're going to squeeze all the way back to the highs or anything like that, but just something to obviously be cautious about because we want to be able to identify as many things as possible. Thank you, Mean Gene. It took a while to get it going, right? Like I tried the short on Nvidia twice, it didn't work out. I tried it on the Qs, it didn't work out. So you can see that's why it's just so important to get as frustrated, again, and full disclosure, right? So I'm trading IBIT, have a solid day. Never mind that was an accident. But nice solid day, nothing to complain about, miss out on that. But then I just got chopped up here in the TQs trying to get that short, but then you can see it just continuously squeeze, and then eventually you just have to be patient enough to wait to get in on that nice entry. So yeah, I had to take that one, and if I blew through it, then I wouldn't really complain too much on that front there, guys. So I'm going to take a little bit more off here at the lows. So nice little fill there on the TQs. We'll continue to piece this out. I'm going to take the majority of it off here at 59.60 as we run into that support level. So yeah, we'll be patient. Microsoft is all the way back at the volume weighted average price there, Obi, and as well as Google. Google is now coming back. So you can see from its breakout range. So you can see its breakout range here on goggles, and then now we're coming back in to test that. So let's see if that can act as support. If it decides that it wants to bounce, then I would suspect that we might see a little bit more of a bounce here in the overall market. But Nvidia is starting to pull back in as well too, my friend.
Yeah, so a few of these tickers are making their way back into VWAP, but interestingly enough, the one ticker that I am attempting the short on is relatively strong. Tesla still holding near its highs at 282s while the rest of the market takes a little bit of a pullback. So that's giving me a little bit of information here. If the market catches a little bit of a bounce off of this 19.7 or the 19.7 halves, does Tesla break its highs? I think the probability of that definitely is a little bit higher there. If the market bounce comes in, Tesla is barely sold off, so it's showing that buyers are still continuing to be in charge while the rest of its peers kind of pull back a little bit, maybe revert a little bit to the mean, revert a little bit back down into VWAP there. Alphabet coming in really hot as well. Amazon, Nvidia, Apple, Softy got all the way back down to VWAP. So the only one that's really lagging behind right now is Tesla here, holding this consolidation above that 280. We did get that strong flush all the way down in the 276s earlier, and that flush only happened in Tesla. So maybe the selling of this range maybe had just gotten taken care of in that action. But let's see if more selling does come back into Tesla. I think with the market, if the market continues to pull back a little bit further, if we break below that 19.7, then maybe Tesla can mosey its way down into VWAP. VWAP currently sitting at 271.16. It's currently trading at 281.82. So talk about an extension off of VWAP. That's over 10 points above there, and it's been holding pretty well as well. So again, just to give you guys a look, we can run through some of the mags and see where they are relative to their VWAP. Sure, Amazon pretty strong as well. Google real quick, all the way back down. Microsoft all the way back down to VWAP as well. You can take a look at Meta. Meta's back down into its VWAP. Who am I forgetting? Google, we did Google. Amazon, I think we've gone through all of them there pretty much, and Apple as well. So Apple back down into VWAP. So Tesla showing some relative
Oh, wow,
strength.
it's crazy out there.
Keep an eye here on MSFT. It's only pushing to the downside, as Joe Nobi just mentioned earlier, but this one has also apparently reportedly expressed interest in TikTok, according to 3 sources cited by CNBC. Apparently, Microsoft was floating around a roughly $40 billion offer for the app. This seems like a lot less concrete than the Amazon offer. So again, just to clarify, today, names that have been floated as potential buyers for TikTok: AMZN, Amazon, AppLovin, APP, and now MSFT or Microsoft. Microsoft, though, not even getting a pop on this news. It's right by VWAP. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara, for that. Coming in now finally. So look at that acceleration with about 7 minutes left on this 15-minute chart, 15-minute candle here. So about roughly just over half the candle left. We're accelerating back down. 19,700s is the next level, in my opinion, here on the Nasdaq. Let's see if we can catch a little bit of a bid off of this prior structure, or does it mean nothing at all? Nothing at all is this price action to Tesla as it continues to hold above that 280 mark as of right now. So the boys in the chat just talking about this ticker that's going crazy right here, making me laugh. Top W, this IPO that happened today. Look at this crazy halter, man. We got to go down. Wow, 1 minute. So this is a 1 minute chart. Have you taken a look at this? The boys in the chat were talking about this as well. Top W. Look at that.
The IPO today,
yeah, that's
right?
the IPO that happened. Boom, 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 off the open, all the way from look. If you know that IPOs are doing this, maybe we just buy a market on open for the IPO. We just get it on a market on open, and then just risk to that initial candle low. And I don't know what the risk would technically be, but it seems like the reward has been pretty nice over the past couple of days there. Every single IPO kind of giving us a very strong movement there. CoreWeave maybe not as much, but that bid does come in eventually, day 1 and then day 3. Today, not as much. CRWV is the ticker, and you can see it's a little bit choppy choppy sideways. I was going to say to the upside, but to the sideways side is choppy on CoreWeave. You can see it's just consolidating, so maybe more of the same. You can see what it did, right? Maybe like things like the stair step. Day 1, we kind of popped, we pull back, we consolidate, failure to follow through, we push up pretty strong. Today, we're consolidating sideways. So the question becomes, if we are going to continue, I want today's range, I want to keep an eye on today's range, 64.61 day high and a day low at 51.40. So both those prices definitely going to be interesting going forward there on CoreWeave, as today, day 4, gave us that continuation all the way. This thing IPO'd at what, 14? Was this the one that IPO'd at $14? No, this one IPO'd at an opening price of $39.44. I remember coming into the week, we were like, oh, it's going to be 55 to 60, and then they dropped it down to 55s, and then 45s, and then it was 40, and then the IPO at 39, so below their price there, but holding up pretty nicely. We failed to follow through. All-time lows, 36s, so we failed to follow through below that. Bit of a held bid there. So we were talking about the S1 on this ticker here on CoreWeave, and everybody kind of wanted a piece on their S1. Let me just show you guys here. If you just search up CRWV S1 filing, and it should be the first one that shows up. There it is, sec.gov. This is the CoreWeave S1 filing. You go right here to the second page. Look at these underwriters here, man. Look at who is on the block, literally holding up some of the, playing defense on this ticker. Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Barclays, Deutsche Bank, Jefferies, Mizuho, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, B of A Securities, MUFG, don't know who those guys are, Guggenheim, Needham, and Galaxy Digital. So a lot of big boys on this one here on the IPO on CoreWeave, and it's been performing pretty well on that. Maybe some defense played by those players at that 36 mark. I have no idea. I wasn't really watching it on the tape there, but yeah, definitely. I think we can always look for a little bit of defense if you have some good underwriters and they have a history of playing defense as well. So something to watch for. It seems like the trade didn't really come in on day one as I was expecting, but I guess it came in on a multi-day off that 36 on day two. So bit of a mistrade on my part, but I'm watching, I'm observing, I'm seeing how things kind of change. We talk about how strategy can. We were talking about edge erosion yesterday, and it's more like the way the price action carries itself out kind of changes. So you have to tweak your methods of execution in and around that, and adapt to the new landscape, and a little bit of that happening here. Yeah. Maybe potentially on.
I had to do that because I mentioned before. I was like, what I was doing before, what you formed consistency in, doesn't necessarily work all the time in different market environments. So now you have to be able to adapt and change, and it takes some time, right? It takes you're going to go through frustration, etc. But if you just continuously learn how to adapt, then I think you're better off in the long run for sure, Obi.
For sure.
Yeah, very, very valid stuff. Guys, I was mentioning this level of support here at 59.60 on the TQs, and then you can see that it prints that indecision candle right there, and then takes a nice little bounce on the 3 minutes. So yeah, this was attempt one, attempt two, and then just sitting, being patient, waiting through it, and then attempt number three. And I guess that's usually how it works. Third time's a charm, I guess, Obi, as they like to say. Good morning, says Jeffrey Miller. It is 2 o'clock, my friend. I'm curious if you're over on the West Coast. Sounds like you are, considering you are talking about the morning. But it is, I'm sure you're aware of what time it is here. But dang, I always bid too low. Morning, the day's over. Yeah, well, I'm assuming he's on the West Coast, right? So I don't know what time it is over there, maybe. But yeah. Is that where you are, Pizza Rat? You're on the West Coast too, aren't you? Over in South. I'm not gonna say South Central, but
Cali.
Cali, yeah, Cali.
What
but
time
yeah.
is it in Cali?
What time is it in? I think it's like, what is it, 3 or 4 hours behind or something? 1 o'clock. Okay, yeah. So no, you're not there either. So it's 1 o'clock. It's in the afternoon. So you might be somewhere else. Okay, well, you're in California, Jeffrey. It's 1 o'clock. So
maybe he's just waking up.
Yeah, he's just getting it going, waiting for 4 o'clock to come into play, and then he's just gonna base trades off of that one. So West Coast, the best coast, says the trader. Go, all right, we see it. All right, well, it's debatable, but we'll leave it at that. Short, I wish I was on. Okay. So yeah, sorry guys, I totally forgot about the playmaker. Did we? No, I don't think we definitely got stopped out on that one. So yeah, we'll take the loss up there on the playmaker. It was a short, right? You guys were right on that, or you were wrong, but we were close to getting that short in. We were really overly extended on the cues, and I didn't necessarily like our timing. What did it say? It's 11 a.m. Okay, it's 11 a.m. in Cali. Why did it say 1 p.m. there, Obi? That's only an hour behind. On your thing.
Maybe that's because hold on, let me try again.
It's definitely 11 a.m. Yeah, so it is definitely. Yeah, it's 11 over there, right? So,
yeah, it's 11. I don't know why that said.
Why did it say 12?
You know what? That's on me. I used Bing. So.
Oh, whoa! What do you have against Bing there?
Well, it's it's a little slow.
All right, I see it.
Slow there.
11 a.m. So there you go. CA, we're getting fact checked here. Yeah, we were totally off on that one. So. Our apologies there, guys.
I swear that's what it said, right?
I seen it. It said 1 o'clock, so which wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, right here, look. Oh, Colombia. Cali, Val del... So I searched Cali, right? So this is what I searched. Man. What time is it in Cali? But if I had searched California, it's going to give me 11.
There you go. So they're in Cali.
That was...
So there was our mistake. Yeah. We were in Colombia. We were in the wrong country there for a little bit. That's all right. That's all right. It happens. Sometimes, it's close.
Sometimes you get a little lost. You end up in Colombia. It happens.
Colombia, California, same thing essentially, right? At the end of the day, really, really close. So yeah, there you go. Cali, Colombia it is. So yeah, our mistake. But yeah, guys, we're starting to break through. I mentioned this level here, 59.60 on the TQs. Let's hopefully break through this level. It looks like that momentum to the downside is starting to pick up. Amazon, it's lagging. It's not really pulling back that aggressively, but you can see this nice, strong, aggressive price action as we broke out. Derek gave us that news, the bid on TikTok. But as it starts to pull in, and some of the other big names, Google is now right into the volume-weighted average price there, Obi. Meta went south of VWAP. And then now Nvidia is starting to approach it as well too. So we might get some more downside in the market and see if 59 comes into play here on the TQs. Oh, it's 201. Yeah, there we go. We're having so much fun. We just forget we lost track of time here, guys. But yeah, Obi, anything you want to leave them off with? Or
no, nothing too crazy there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, you guys have a great rest of the trading day. And yeah, happy trading.
Happy trading, guys.
Take it easy.
Happy trading. I actually asked in the chat while they were doing West Coast versus East Coast,
Day.
or which one do you like better? I just threw in to Joe specifically, Biggie or Pac.